Check 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Check 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 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Beauty.
148 people watching still. Jesus Christ. You ready to go?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're going on. We're on the air.
Are we?
The mic's going.
Nice.
Yeah, let's just do this.
Let's go.
It's live. You can start talking.
Start talking. Good morning from Las Vegas. Tom Gazzola, Matt Iwanyk, getting the setup all done. Hope you're doing well. All you AM nasties. We'll formally
9:14.
Yeah, formally begin
9:14.
the program shortly.
So I said 9:15.
Good timing.
I
Matthew,
did it
that was
under
great.
a
You're not
minute.
wearing any
I
shoes
did
now?
it under a minute. So I'm very pleased by that, actually. I got my laptop going. I'm going to have to change that.
Yeah, that's annoying. I do that too. It's all good. There we go. There we go. Eric's on his way. Dusty's doing something. You got it all figured out?
Well, Dusty gets his break because he's got a couple shows coming up here.
Oh, yeah. There he is.
Look, there's Dusty anyways.
Hey, big man.
When you have a chance, my remote's somewhere there. Shut off the TV if possible.
Yeah.
We're live now. We got it within a minute. We're a minute shy. So this is the EST Hangout presented by Whiteclaws. Eric's gone to just go get some drinks, and he'll be right back. So it's just Tom Gazzola and Matt Iwanyk with you here right now. It's the Red Room. We tried having the window open so people could see behind, but
Didn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work that well.
work.
So you just get the look inside my room. We're in my room
Very
for this,
spacious.
which is a little weird. Should be on the bed somewhere, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, just shut off that TV. Somebody, Wheel's telling me I look lonely. Oh, no, you look very lonely. Audio is good. So,
Excellent.
but you're here.
Yeah, I'm here.
You were here. You were sitting there the whole time, so I don't know how.
Very
okay.
content.
And tube socks, no shoes, WTF. I'm a flip-flop guy usually, and the flip-flops are off right now. Well, I took them off over there because I had to walk over the bed or something, so I don't have. Why?
That'd be weird.
Then give me my flip-flops, and I'll put my flip-flops on.
His
They're
shoes
on
are right there, too.
Yeah.
What do you think has happened in this room?
What do you mean you can't get the TV to come off? How hard is this? Pass me the remote.
There you go. What do you think has happened in
Not
this room?
that hard. Not that hard. He's got to go. What was the question?
What do you think has happened in this room? This building used to be the Monte Carlo. Became Park
Is
MGM
this
like
the
4 or 5
Monte
years-
Carlo?
Yeah.
I was wondering that actually last night. I was thinking, where's the Monte Carlo
Right
and stuff?
here.
This is at Park MGM.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a great spot for an Oiler game.
It is.
Like if you are trying to come to a game here in Vegas, direct flights from Edmonton, thanks to our airport, EIA, the YAG airport. This is because the T-Mobile Arena is right outside the door.
Yeah.
Like it's literally right there, and then there's the bars that you can go to. We were at Beer House yesterday, and Oiler fans take over Vegas.
I know. Oh,
Like-
I know.
Maybe this is an Oiler Edmonton bias, but it feels more like an Oiler home game than Super Bowl week here.
Well, so yeah.
Right? Like it doesn't
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like Super Bowl week that much. You go to the casinos all over. We were walking all places yesterday. Went to Top Golf. Maybe because Top Golf is very touristy, but
All of this.
it felt very much like, yeah, the Oilers are in town. It'd be a lot harder to notice the Super Bowl's in town a little bit.
Slow burn. Talking to the locals, they say it's going to pick up probably starting like today. We saw yesterday. I went for lunch at the Bellagio, and you could see they closed down the fountains and they have a stage set up. CBS is set up there.
Or did they shut the
And
fountains off now?
Yeah,
Because earlier this week they were going.
Yeah, they were all set up. They had their TV trucks taking up like the valet portion, like of the drive-in, the promenade, if you will, promenade, however you want to describe it. And yeah, so people around here are like, it's about Wednesday, Thursday, you're gonna feel Super Bowl big time, and so you're starting to get that sense. But in the meantime, lots of orange and blue around here.
Mm-hmm.
This intersection, I think at one point, or it even still is, like the most hotel rooms in like a 1 block radius in the world. There's like 3,000 here, 3,000 across the street, 3,000. There's like 12,000 hotel rooms in this like one intersection. It's insane. Right outside the arena.
It's a place to come go.
Yeah.
If you are an Oiler fan, this is worth the trip. Just because of just so much other things to do. And we're busy in the morning and afternoon that makes it a little harder at night a little bit. We're going to
Part of the
really
job,
tough
man.
it out tonight.
You guys, what time do you
I
guys
think so.
fly? I fly tonight.
We fly tomorrow night.
Yeah. Okay.
So we still have all our shows tomorrow.
Right.
That one's going to be a rough morning show for the boys, I'm going to say.
What's gonna happen?
And then all three of us are sticking around doing the hangout
Yeah.
and then figuring out everything from there. But yeah, tonight it's like one, like if you have tomorrow's a rough show day, maybe tune in because you'll see how rough that this could be. Dusty was out till 1 yesterday with you.
Yep.
And some of the Oilers scribes, as they call it.
Scribes.
I was out by about 11:30.
Lots of Oiler fans. You know what though? That loss yesterday, we're gonna get into it obviously, and the boys are talking about it on the morning show as well. But I was very surprised at how harsh some Oilers fans were in regard to the way that game went and how the team played. And I thought we're watching in the press box, first intermission, second intermission, talking with everyone up there. It's like, this is a good game. These are two teams playing like they don't like each other. Playoff battle. I know there wasn't scrums and stuff like that, but it was like an early kind of test. And we had people saying on the postgame show, they failed the test. They're not ready. I was like, what? Wait a sec. Like that second period, they were excellent. They created a lot of offense. They had a lot of possession. Yesterday, we were being fed the metrics and the underlying numbers were good in terms of the Oilers, and the possession was good. Man, great goal by Chandler Stevenson. That was a beautiful shot. Yes, the Oilers were flailing a little bit, waving their sticks, but not that bad. And Stevenson picks the corner. And then the other thing, too, is people were ripping on Cody Ceci. And it's like, yeah, it wasn't great on that. But how about Matthias Ekholm on the first goal? Didn't pick up Nick Waugh. Like,
You also have to remember it's the Golden Knights. They're a good hockey team.
that's a good team.
These two teams meet.
Yeah.
That's a 7-game series potential. Like that, they're close. This is the team you always have to beat.
Yeah.
If they're gonna want to go, I think you knock off the Golden Knights, you're gonna be able to knock off anyone in these playoffs.
And Aiden
But
Hill
it's not
made
gonna be
some great
easy.
saves.
Aiden Hill's turning into a top goalie.
Yeah.
Like he's one of he'd be one of those people in contention. I think DVD threw it out yesterday for Canada at least the whatever they're calling that four nation face-off next year in lieu of the All-Star game.
Right.
Like who it'd be him and Skinner, I would think, are kind of like somewhat the favorites for the coaching or the goaltending spot.
The other thing, too, is people like, they're not ready. Like, I'm going to say it again. They're not ready to beat this team. That proved that they're not ready. They beat Vegas earlier this year. We forgot that.
Flip side, though, is Vegas was stumbling at that moment.
And Vegas was banged up yesterday. No Eichel.
Yeah.
No Theodore.
So that doesn't make it as better.
No Dorofeev. I know you're very big into Pavel Dorofeev.
Big
and
fan.
His potential arc.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
They're going to put statues of him in Vegas. That's what I believe is
at
is
T-Mobile,
coming.
The Plaza.
He's going to be the
T-Mobile
first.
Arena.
He's going to be the first statue. I just am that high on him. Dusty buys Trevor Lawrence rookie cards. I buy his rookie cards just to be ready to go. No, but the Golden Knights are just a good hockey team, and just because the Oilers won 16 straight, it doesn't make the Oilers automatically unstoppable. That you can't beat the Oilers. They are going to lose some hockey games in the end. Like the one thing that was their first loss of 2024 in the end.
Yeah.
February
December
6th. Was their first loss in 2024, so that's pretty good. It's now just how do you recover? How do you bounce back? That's what I'm intrigued by because they have not this season. Everything's been a streak. They haven't been able to go one loss, bounce back with a win. This is going to be the chance where there's no better chance. You got the Ducks on Friday. Start a new streak.
Sure. You got a Kings
Go
team
win
that's
4 or
really,
5.
Yeah.
Unless they get that coaching bounce that we always talk about.
Maybe. Happened. Didn't happen for, oh, man, who made the change and it just kind of fell flat?
When?
Blanking here.
Which year?
Earlier this year.
Minnesota made a coaching change, did they not?
That's who it was. Yeah.
Well, but they
Dean
did get a big bounce. Just when they made that change.
For
they
how long?
won a bunch of games.
No,
I know,
like
but
3 or 4 games.
that's usually all you get with that initial bump, and then either the team figures it out or they get set off.
Text coming in, 780-218-9999. We're live on location in Las Vegas at the Park MGM. It's the Hangout on EST. Cubsid says the fountains are not shut down. Okay, good. That's cool because they're great. I did not see them going at all yesterday. That's why. Plus, they had that stage out there, like on the water. They are still going in the evenings, and I was there in the afternoon. But if you're looking for lunch ideas, go to Hattie B's in the Cosmo Food Court. Order the Shut the Cluck Up. Proceed to the back of the seating area. Open the emergency exit door with the picture of the donkey on it. You can thank me later. I think I've heard of this. This is Speakeasy.
Oh yeah,
Speakeasy. Yeah. The little nooks and crannies of this place.
So here, okay, we're into food here for this
Yeah.
discussion. The boys were talking about this morning. We went to Shake Shack yesterday for the first time.
Delicious.
We all loved it. Those boys have never had In-N-Out, and they're debating, do they go to In-N-Out, because they're getting mixed reviews. They're getting people saying In-N-Out overrated. Other people, no, it's better burger than Shake Shack.
Quick and dirty, man.
Where do you come out on In-N-Out burger?
I love In-N-Out Burger, but I also love Shake Shack, and I could.
They're different burgers.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick which one's better.
It depends what you're in the mood for. Like if you want a quick one, go to In-N-Out. It's fresh. The fries only last about 8 minutes because as soon as they start to cool down, they're toast.
Yeah.
Especially if you get them animal style. The burgers, delicious, but you got to be literally it has to be quick. In and out.
It's not just getting inside the place, it's also eating it.
Yeah.
In and out.
When it's hot, it's good. Shake Shack, you get the bun and then the double
bun's
patty.
amazing.
And then you get like the sauces that they use. And then I think there's the one that I like has like the little cherry peppers on it. Oh, and then the sauce. Yeah, the cheese sauce is good. It's a different
pickles
experience.
Or fried pickles yesterday, which were good too.
Those are awesome.
It's
Shake
great.
Shack. It's
I've heard of it.
I love both
I've
of
heard
them.
people talk great things about it. We went there yesterday, and I was actually really amazed at how good it was.
I love both of them.
Like, it would be a tough time if they were next to each other.
Yeah.
Like, there'd be a chance I wouldn't eat because I'd just be debating which store to go into, and I wouldn't make a decision.
Is that where you saw Gene yesterday at Shake Shack?
No.
Oh.
No, that was on the way to Shake. We saw him just outside of T-Mobile Arena.
Gotcha.
Come on in.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, we got a Bloody Mary for Lieutenant Eric who's coming in. Yeah. Put off the latch. If somebody knocks now, we're screwed. So, this is the EST Hangout presented by Whiteclaw. Lieutenant Eric coming in. Actually, as you come, if you could just pass me that piece of paper while you're doing it. Oh,
no.
No, we're
You
good
did
still. I think we're still looking good. I think you bumped the camera. For those listening on the audio stream, I'll go fix that.
Did it get bumped?
Oh,
Tommy's a little
Sorry,
off,
boys.
I think.
all good. Hello.
There we go.
Good morning.
How are you feeling today? Did you go out again last night?
No,
You crashed?
I had to. We talked about it this morning on the show, and there's no harm in having a little rest from time to time because,
Well, it's not really rest.
well, no, but it is rest.
Is what, like 3 hours?
It was a long day yesterday, and if you watched yesterday's show, I was a mess. Not my brightest 3 hours. However, laid down after the hangout, half hour good, but still, you didn't have that rest. And I figured last night we had the hockey game. It was a good reason to and a loss too. It's not like kicking up heels and going out and people are
It deflated like all the energy.
bit of a stick in the spoke.
Yeah.
So you take that. I think the universe talking to you. You say, you know what? Go home. There will be a tomorrow.
Yes.
Count your winnings and everything. Have a good snooze. You're right. It's not long. It's 4 hours. But now rested for today. We have a bit of runway too in terms of itinerary and planning. So now let's
During
go.
the morning
That's right.
show,
I'm ready to rock.
During the morning show, I came back here, closed my eyes. It was probably like out for a good another
You went
30
out.
minutes. And it was great.
I'm gonna have a shower after this.
I showered
I'm gonna
after. It was
I'll
that
be-
little prep time I had. It just set me up really well for today. Got my Starbucks.
It's like the Oilers season. It started off a little, you're rocky, but then we're
I was
streaking right
knocked
now.
out yesterday when I went down too.
It's busy here.
It's your body telling you. You
Yeah,
were
absolutely.
out.
Yeah,
A
a little
bit,
bit.
but
Not too
nothing
much.
crazy.
No. Yesterday was a little
we're on
tamer.
a
Sorry if
little
you guys
run
went
here.
over this already.
No, we haven't. But we were just talking about In-N-Out and Shake Shack, which we can get
Yeah.
back into. But we've got Vegas here. We come back. You've got morning show Friday morning.
Yep.
We'll
Yep.
do the hangout. Saturday's the watch party at Boston Pizza.
That's gonna be great.
Oilers
Should be good.
old Oilers Kings.
Yes.
So you'll be there for Oil Stream pregame, postgame show. We'll also be there during the game. Sunday, I'm just gonna guess you can't come to Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge in the Sports Bar and Lounge.
If you
could
get a
come to
room,
Century
maybe.
Casino,
Sold
you
out.
could go,
Get
maybe
a
in the
room,
restaurant
watch
for
the
prime
game,
rib.
pop down,
You could
you know?
get a room, and as Eric said, then pop down, maybe be the seat filler if someone gets up. But
Sure.
all the tables have been booked up. We'll be there for the Super Bowl. We'll have lots to give away. We'll have to try to do some content from there. We can't shoot videos. Trev couldn't do that last time, so
Yeah.
But I think if you Any casino too, and I get the
It
rules.
makes sense.
But you can pop your phone out for a second,
Yeah.
just take a picture. Like we'll have some grainy photographs.
Yeah.
6 o'clock or lager available for purchase there. We will have the cans.
The can.
And then we're there on Monday, broadcasting all of our shows there on Monday. So Tuesday we get to
Now-
sleep.
I said
It's a long, yeah. And my week started Sunday at the Granite Curling Club for crying out loud. I took an extra
How long were you at the curling club going
for a game, but
Yeah,
I
but like-
pre-gamed and then got there and
Wow, you really
oh,
went.
it was a Sunday night. Who would have thought, right? It's been it's a great week, and obviously the result last night, as you say, kind of deflates the bit.
it did.
But there was a few. I went and got a Bloody Mary this morning, 4:15, as you do down at the casino
Right.
lounge, and
Yes.
a few jerseys still walking around.
How
Of the orange and
how-
blue?
Were they zombie-like or were they alive?
One guy was sitting at the bar, and you know when you have that, well, it's the drunk face. Where you're keeping it together, and he was.
Yeah.
But you could tell that there was a sense
It
of
was the
struggle on
looking,
the face.
the looking at you like this.
The inability to focus.
I had one guy come up to me yesterday after the game, and it was a limp handshake. It was a look like this. I know you, but I don't really know you right now because I am trashed. You know, that was that kind of like head down. And I was like, hey, man, nice to meet you. And I got to go. You know,
Limp is a good way of
it
kind
was
of
the limp.
describing
And
the
he's
mood.
like, I'm like, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Didn't
Get some
hear, like,
rest.
You know, have fun tonight. One of those. It was a long day for that man in his Oilers hat.
I would venture that a lot of fans go home today, or perhaps the Anaheim trip, as some of them are.
Today, I would think most
The
go
game's
home
a Tuesday
today.
night.
Actually,
maybe you take the week.
we ran into a lot of people that said they've been here since Friday.
Yeah, they had the
Ooh.
weekend already.
They came for the weekend and then
would they?
ended with the Oilers Golden Knights.
They were future us.
Yes. So like, I'm assuming today then they're all headed back. I'm assuming DVD's going back to Edmonton.
There will be an exodus, but with
He
that,
doesn't get his drive to
Oh.
Los Angeles and Palm Springs.
something
No.
we didn't discuss this morning. The streak ends, yes, but DVD's streak of that
Going on the road.
exactly.
It's over.
That's
DVD's got to go home.
9 a.m. flight.
He's being grounded.
9 a.m.
you know?
flight. Hey,
Yep.
Today?
That's how it.
Yep.
You
He
think
got
the
that
result,
flight that quick.
Yep. NHL.
They didn't mess around.
They don't mess around.
Go home, DVD.
Yep.
We're done sending you on the
No
road.
more
wins
No
and
more
losses
per
hit a little
diem for
different hey,
you.
when it's Anaheim or a flight back home. But
Yep. Oh well.
Yeah, you think maybe give him like the day or get a night flight or something like that. No, get home.
Go home.
We don't want you.
no feeling sorries for the media, right?
No.
Tough
never.
gig.
Yeah. Right. Never. Ever.
Have you gambled much yet?
We went over this on the morning show. I am
Yeah.
down 50, and I'll walk you through my process yesterday. I had the half hour of downtime. I got up, headache gone, no pills, no Advils, Tylenols, or
Wow.
IV bags, and I was like, here we go. Went outside, I got a little fresh air. Do you know what I
saw
mean?
that.
Then I said, finally, I'm going to, I had some Canadian bills that I exchanged for American ones. Went to the machine, quick hits. I usually like that brand of gambling machine. Saddled up, Bloody Mary, put in a 50. I went up to about 99.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah. You hit a bonus.
so I was up, and then it all went away. So I'm down 50. I gave Dustin the 10. We had the big long
Yeah.
arm right yesterday.
He struggled with that.
I don't officially include that on my book, so that was just a variety, fun money type of thing. So down 50, which I intend to get back today.
Okay.
Las Vegas has gotten up on me early here, but we still have a lot of game to go.
It's a good day and a half still for us here.
Absolutely.
A lot of time to.
Are you going to
get
place a
yourself-
sports bet today at a
No.
book?
I
No?
don't think so.
Dusty still hasn't. He's kind of amazed at the fact, so maybe we'll have to get
Do you
him
know
out
why
there.
he hasn't?
Well, because we've just been doing stuff.
Hey, boy, because we're also a cool bet.
No, I know.
Doesn't that
but,
change
Well, he
the
couldn't get
things?
on the website today.
Oh,
And
you
people were calling him
can't.
Shane
Actually, you're
Pinto.
right.
People are calling him Shane Pinto.
Because
No.
they wouldn't have the rights, because it's IP. You'd have
So
to.
he's-
You'd have to VPN back to Canada or to the
Right.
right spot.
You would say he's excused.
Oh, so
because
then
he's
he
a
has
sports
to. Well, then
man.
he should have made a bet by now.
Yeah, well,
Mr.
he-
Lock Shop.
Mr. Lock Shop.
He's going to do 3 lock shops from Vegas. He's already through 1. He's going to start a second and not have made a sports bet then?
He doesn't gamble though.
I'm
Just
calling him
sports
out.
bets. No poker tournament yet. I'm look, boys. I am vibing for today,
You're feeling it.
and I know
I can tell.
well, I'm just trying to, that
Oh, it's Super
deflating of
Bowl
the
week
Oilers
now.
loss. I want to get this back up.
This
where it
now
should be.
starts Super Bowl week.
Yeah.
The Oilers could leave town, and Vegas can now welcome.
Because
the
today's
Super Bowl.
Wednesday, correct?
Yeah.
Hump days. So now you're.
I think this is when we'll start seeing a lot more people in Vegas come for Super Bowl. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how many people are coming for the whole week.
They're expecting like 400,000 people.
But I think fans
Over the week?
specifically.
Like,
Yeah.
or like later in
Or,
this week?
like probably starting today.
Yeah, it's like I'm thinking most people would come
Yeah.
for the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's a lot of places to just watch it. I don't know if we got on the Hangout yesterday. We talked off the air, But there's places that like it's like $200,
$200, all you can eat, all you can
$250 or
drink.
something. But yeah, you get all you can eat, all you can drink.
Yeah.
Like I'm guessing that is also just Vegas, any Super Bowl, not with it being here.
Yeah.
It's just now it adds to that, so people definitely want to be here. So I think it's this week we'll start seeing more people start
Question:
flocking.
have you noticed walking around? I've noticed this. The ads for Super Bowl do not actually say Super Bowl at these hotels unless they're like an official partner.
The
Big
big game.
big
all
game,
big game.
Sunday.
I'm going to go in
Generic
and say,
helmet and
the Grey
jersey.
Cup already happened in November. Hey, see what the reaction is there? That'd be a good one.
I was wearing my
They'll just
Elks.
kick you
I was
out.
wearing an
Game,
Elks
didn't
shirt
you?
yesterday.
Were you?
Yeah,
Nice.
It was
He
great.
posted up. Yeah, he was flagging that
I
thing
love
all
that
over the
thing.
place.
It was
Boy,
good.
I saw your Grey Cup backpack too. So.
I also have an Edmonton Trappers Ross Flats to pull out here
Hell
at some
yeah,
point.
you do.
Ocho Cinco's in town, though. You see his tweet about an hour or so ago?
I saw
He's going to the Grits
his
Grill for
tweet.
breakfast. Nice day, he says in Vegas.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Chili
saw
Pepper.
Ryan Meyer of Whale and the Wolves tweet to him first.
Sure, yeah,
And
yeah.
then I saw his tweet.
What did Rymai say?
Well, let's pull it up.
No, as Ocho Cinco is an esteemed CFL legend in his own.
Speaks very highly of the league, as he
right?
should.
And he would too if he heard the big game. He'd say, "Oh, the Grey Cup."
So
That's
Chad
right.
Johnson, it's a beautiful morning in Vegas, slightly chilly, and Grits Cafe for breakfast is on the horizon with a smiley face.
Yeah.
Rymai, you should meet up with the Edmonton Sports Talk crew at me, you, Eric, and Dusty.
Did Ocho Cinco reply? He's quite active on his social
He is.
media. isn't
Well, I
he?
said if you want to talk a little CFL tampering window, I mean that
Oh.
thing won't not stop.
He has not replied, nor has he liked it yet.
Damn it.
Also, I don't know if you saw this tweet. Yesterday, for those watching the Hangout, Jack Michaels came up the escalator when we were in the lobby with
Tan
some
suit.
guy.
He was wearing a tan suit.
with some guy, and you made fun of this guy's shirt.
It was a bad shirt.
Did you hear about this?
Did you see he tweeted at us?
No.
Oh, he's
He tweeted.
he's mad?
full
He
detail.
tweeted.
Not.
Now I got to
So
pull
I was
it up.
right.
He knew everything.
It was great.
He was all in.
I'm
He,
so sorry.
Now I got to find it here
whoever-
quickly.
Random.
Sorry, that gentleman.
We've had
yeah.
too many tweets.
What? I saw
Of
something
overall.
on the post game. I think Bones was texting me, being like, "Hey, that was my buddy," and I kind of addressed it, but
What was the temperature in that post game? Fahrenheit.
there was like some harsh criticism from some.
The body's still warm, right? I assume most post games we come in the morning. It's kind of things of you sleep on it.
Yeah,
We come to our senses, but you get the firing line. Hey?
and there was a few, not most, and there's some people defending the Oilers because they did play a good game, but then there was a few that, no, they're not ready. They're not ready. That just shows you that they're not a contender truly, and all the teams that they beat on the 16 game winning streak were not good teams.
Even taking a not ready approach, do you need to be ready right now, February 6th, 7? No.
It's a process.
Yeah, you got to be ready when it counts in the playoffs.
They need a little more adversity to get ready for the playoffs, I think. I think it's too far. Like, they had their big adversity at the start of the season.
Sure.
Having a little bit in the new year closer to the playoffs isn't a bad thing. As
Exactly.
long as it's not, doesn't get away
You don't
from
let
them
it
in
get
a bad
yeah,
way.
You control
If
it.
they can have just a little bit of struggles, I think that could be a beneficial to this team as opposed to just rolling the rest of
I
the
think
way.
it does a body good with this
It's-
team. Yep.
Like, they don't go out there trying to lose hockey games or have adversity.
No.
You don't want that as a coach or the players, but if it happens, it's not terrible.
No,
You
And
could
even-
see the bright spot to it.
They even kind of talked about it on the post game. You could hear Chris Knobloch. There's satisfaction with how they played overall. Yeah, disappointment in the result, but
Well, disappointment in the results, satisfaction with the play, but his words too over this winning streak in some games, like he hasn't been happy.
no.
I keep saying like this is for fans, and it's I'm not here to like be the contrarian to the win streak. It was a great thing, and it was fun to follow, and you're chasing history. But reading Knobloch's words, game in, game out, he's like, period off, period, and that. But then last night, you get the loss and the result, but the coach is saying, hey, you give me that effort and give me that,
Second period, he
it's a
really
7-game
liked
series right there, right?
Yeah.
Like you,
Yeah.
two good goaltenders,
Yes.
Canada's future.
making big saves.
I want to get to a text on the Oilers, but quickly, Lucas.
Okay, is this the shirt thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
here
goes, fellas, I was the guy walking with Jack Michaels. Him and Bob did have a real event to go to.
I know.
I promise I'm not mad. We'll accept a beer at the game tonight as an apology, though, from Loud Shirt Guy.
We never got him that
we
beer.
didn't get
We
you
didn't
the
get the
beer,
beer
so
for
he
him.
might now be mad. But yeah, he found it. He responded to it. So
I
if you
want-
don't know what we're talking about, you'd have to go back to the Hangout yesterday. I think it was about at the midway mark. And Tom
just went
made
off.
fun of some guy's
Went
shirt
off on him.
and didn't know who he was. DVD was like, who is that? And you're like, I don't know. And DVD's like, well, why are you making fun of his shirt? I thought you know him.
DVD really called you out on that too. He
did.
He was not impressed.
No.
So much so that the guy heard about it.
Well,
he might,
there you go,
he might
yeah.
have not thought anything of it in the end. He might have just walked away, forgot.
He was fine.
But for the rest of the time, we just kept talking about, Tommy's just going after a loud shirt guy here.
Yeah.
That was a loud shirt.
I was more offended at the tan suit, to be honest.
Well, it was a terrible suit. And you know what? I noticed Jack changed his pants. He had pleats in the morning, straight out of 1997. But by game time, in the press box, no pleats.
That's what they say. Pleats in the morning.
Yeah.
No pleats.
Part of this complete breakfast.
It's 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox. This is the EST Hangout presented by a White Claw Hard Seltzer, the hard seltzer that started the wave, made with refreshing real flavors for their iconic taste. White Claw, the difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Lieutenant Eric, Tom Gazzola in my room, 114. Here at the Park MGM.
Pop by and hang out.
But the thing
No,
is,
I'm serious.
But you'd have to have the code to get up, or you need a card.
Yeah. Well, not the guy. I just took the elevator up, and a guy. What do you call
mean?
those people that jump on the bus? Like he kind of. I walked in the elevator, and he like jumped in.
But you can't pick any floor. The card only goes to that one floor.
Yeah.
Right, and
So,
then
you'd have to wait for the
So
fifth
he's
floor.
still in the elevator because I went up to this. I went up to 5, and he didn't have a card. I said, "So you're just on for the ride, are you?" And he's like, "I messed up. I didn't." And I was like, "Okay." And I
Deliberate.
got off at 5. I don't know where he is. He's still in the elevator, trapped.
If you could find your way to the fifth floor, knock on room 114 and Park MGM.
Knock 3 times.
We'll
and,
bring you in. 3 times, pause for a little bit, knock twice. We know it's you.
Wow.
Let's just do that.
Wow. It's our own speakeasy.
Couple texts, Tube Socks. Can we anticipate Bob swinging by your room? I actually did see Bob later, too. I saw him and I saw Cam Moon.
If I look through
Bob
that people
kept
and
walking.
Stoffer sitting there.
Yeah.
with-
Bob was with someone more important, too, legitimately. And then Cam quickly stopped to talk to me. We had a very brief chat 'cause I haven't seen Mooner in months.
all River Hawks. All River Hawks.
It was talk to Elks quickly because he saw my
okay.
Elks shirt. He's like, nice shirt.
Yeah.
But then he had to go run to catch up to Bob
Yeah.
because he was going to get lost. So I was like, no, go ahead. Go.
you
But-
need to run.
So,
I saw him the other night.
also, Rusty Shackelford says Bob commented addressed his time on EST yesterday during the pregame show.
Really?
What
what
was
did
the?
he say?
Yes, we need the words.
What did Bob say?
Give us
about
the
that?
transcript.
No, did he do a full apology? Like, I am sorry that I went on the rogue audio outlet that is
To his
Edmonton
corporate
Sports
masters.
Talk.
Yeah.
Station.
I will not do that. Or did he talk about wanting to come on more?
Well, I kind of pumped him up during the game. I was like, "Stoff, people loving your appearance." He's like, "Well, maybe it's not the last one." And I was like, "Stoff, you know how to push the button."
It was a hell of a pop.
It was.
And when he walked, I wish we had a camera on that staircase when he was walking down,
he knew
because
what
it
he
was
was
like Bill Goldberg, Stone Cold, and The Rock all coming down the entrance ramp at once, all melded together, and he's just elbows are out, and all it needed was some theme music in behind,
Yep.
and it would have been perfect.
If
He sold it.
If he had the New Age Outlaws music at that point.
Oh,
You didn't know?
start calling him Mr. Ass.
And he found the leader of Red Bull can. Because that was a liter of Red Bull that he
2
had.
liter.
That was a
That's-
big one.
that was- I've never seen it.
But that's what they were getting told like on the morning show and stuff. Like, we need a Red Bull in case of emergency.
keep one around.
at
yeah.
the station at all times.
Just in case he
So
shows
Bob,
up.
like, Bob, hey, we've got a Red Bull.
Yeah.
It's
He's not-
cold. It's in the fridge. It's ready to
It's
go.
ice cold for you.
We got it. We got it
You didn't
ready.
want it.
He was on the sugar-free forever. That is gone.
He's back on the show.
Back on the
He
straight
goes back
sugar.
and forth.
Well, it's Vegas though. Kind of let your hair down a bit,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Sugar be damned.
That's right.
He used to like the Monsters too a little bit.
So did he.
Well,
he's
he
a
did.
rock
I'm saying
star
he
guy.
did.
Yeah, he's a rock
He's a
star.
rock star now?
Or his Rockstar, yes.
We used to find, we used to find the super cans of Rockstar all over the bowels of Rexall Place.
Just crushed.
They'd be like,
Various
stuff was
flavors.
here. Yeah, there'd be like a old TV sitting in a corner underneath the stands, and there'd be like a can of Rockstar up top. You're like, how did he put it there? Why was he in that crevice of the building? And when? How long ago?
I love his parkour of leaving empty cans in weird
They were
places.
everywhere.
How did that get there? Yeah. How did he do that?
you know, instead of
They're
like
tearing down Rexall Place, and
Yeah.
they just keep finding Red Bull cans.
Inside
And they
the
go,
walls.
Where is this Red Bull
You
can coming?
maniac.
Who's living here still? Like,
it's like saying, Bob was here. It's just the
Yeah,
Red Bull.
it's his tag.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's his tag.
Surveyor Brett is added a picture of Kramer when he has the Kenny Rogers. It is relating to our room with how red
Yes.
it
Well,
is.
can we not pull up the?
Well, we did. You want to
It
see?
did,
work
but
it.
it
It's
blows
not
out.
right.
It
Well,
blows.
we could show it. We could show people what it
Yeah,
looks like.
like
Yeah,
you
we could
do have
actually
a
move
decent
around
view.
with this.
Yeah, we can walk.
Yeah,
it.
here. If you're not
We'll see how
watching
this
and you're
looks
listening.
for a little bit.
Full remote.
Full remote.
This is all automatic.
Eric's got the better room because his is all
Machines.
green.
Yeah.
Mine's just like the red is a weird color.
All right, let's see what's
But-
going on.
See, you
here.
can't see
It's-
anything.
Yeah, it's just
blows
Eric.
out.
Oh,
Eric's
yeah,
got this
that's
like
not
haze behind him.
Well, what you're missing is a
So-
overcast day and buildings. And,
No one in the pool, but
and
there's
a
always
pool not
someone
used.
around the pool.
Yeah, yeah. People dip their toes in, but
Oh, they're taking out the chair.
oh, jeez.
Why was the chair even in there?
That's it. Oh, somebody was probably
I
just laying out for a little bit.
got to be honest with you guys. I really wanted to get wet this trip. Like I wanted to.
Well, we
get-
can.
I don't get in a pool often. Like
We could go still, and there's plenty of like. I'm assuming some pools open
or
somewhere.
a soak in a hot tub.
Anyway, that's why we closed it.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it back down.
Yeah.
It's kind of angelic though. Me sitting like it's kind
You
of
are
it's got
angelic.
a bit of a an aura about it.
There was some sunshine, like Ocho Cinco alluded to earlier, but
Yeah,
a
he's-
little overcast now.
Yeah.
There we go. I was saying earlier, like when we did the soft open to the show,
Yeah, it's very soft.
as Matthew
Yeah.
was getting everything.
What did you
set up.
do? Tell me.
Well, no. First, like I only wanted the camera on. I just wanted people to see us setting up a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's just like hey,
Peek
look,
behind the curtain. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think that'd be better than the
always
EST
fun.
Hangouts coming is starting soon. I think for this, while we're trying to set up,
Yeah.
that would have been a little cool. But then I plugged the mic on. I didn't think I sent it over yet,
He had.
and he started doing test.
Hot mic.
But he was just doing tests. Like you want
Oh,
to test 1, 2,
thank
3.
God,
So I
eh?
threw it
There
on.
was no
Yeah.
brain waves.
If
Weren't,
you could hear the stuff we talk.
Yeah. Hey, now.
There's a rule of broadcasting. Never say something around a mic that
right.
you don't want broadcasted.
Those
Even
mics,
if you think
man.
it's off. Even if
You
you
never
think it's
trust
off.
a Michael.
No, you can't.
Michael stink.
I also have a brother named Michael. Okay, so we were saying if these walls could talk, what has this room seen? This used to be the Monte Carlo,
Yeah.
now Park MGM.
Can we cut the mics for a second to
What do
discuss?
you-
Because
yeah, like because
I don't know, the walls, the floors, like even I don't know, like you go to hotels are always like that, and they say the remote's always the dirtiest thing or whatever. There's
Yeah.
all these, you know, and then-
yeah,
Remote?
well, because
Yeah.
it's something that everybody touches sometimes, and
phone
maybe
used
it's
to
not
be.
cleaned as much. I don't know. Like,
That's
but,
fair.
But when you go to Vegas, right, all of that gets notched up to an 11. In terms of like, I wonder what's going on here. Any hotel room, there's always something.
people in general are disgusting.
People in general, in any hotel, but Vegas hotel rooms, right? And it's a great question because I go to the bathroom, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm doing just regular things, and every time I do something or an action, I'm thinking,
Whoa.
what has been on here? Who has touched this?
I literally blocked that out.
What type
completely.
of
I don't care.
fluid, bodily fluids have
I had my bare feet on the floor.
you did?
You now
I
have E.
took my
coli.
shoes off because I was moving around,
schedule
and
an
they were just
appointment
left
today.
here. So, like, I'm good. Don't worry about it. Don't think. There's germs everywhere. Deal with it.
Oh, germs. are
What you
one
don't
thing.
know won't hurt you. You know.
Ignorance is bliss. But I'm just saying, like,
So don't even think about it. Also,
As
the beds we
someone-
have here are very comfortable. I usually don't sleep well in hotel beds. This bed's nice.
bed's not bad. Yeah.
I've enjoyed it. How was your room?
Amazing.
Where were you?
I'm
Different
at the
hotel,
Aria.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Do you also
Phenomenal.
have a mechanical?
I certainly do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Dusty's
Dusty's the only
that
one.
doesn't- he's
I can
got a-
hear him
he's
pulling
got
it
a pulley
sometimes.
system.
No way. No, everything's operated by a tablet in my room, which is lovely.
Oh, you got a tablet
Get out of
operating
here.
it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Very, very enjoyable bathroom with the soaker tub and a large shower. The marble floor. It's
Good water pressure.
Water pressure is adequate. I could use a little bit more. I like options on my shower head. Didn't have that, but no complaints. It's great view. Awesome, really nice. First time staying there. I'd stayed at the Vidara before.
How high
I've
are
stayed
you?
here a few
What
times.
floor are you?
11.
No, that's
I
not
think
good-
not
good.
that high.
No, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because you're not a heights.
I'm not a heights guy. But yeah, like good vibe. Lots of Oiler fans in Aria as well. Cosmo as well. Like this whole side of the strip was mini Edmonton.
It's good to be in this kind of area. It's kind of a ground
Yeah.
zero for everything happening yesterday.
Yeah.
The beer house, everything's
Yeah.
and a nice little neat package.
Do you know where it gets a little wild? Go across the street around Flamingo, Harrah's. I believe there's also the Link, which used to be the Imperial Palace.
Define wild. What are you talking here?
It's a party. Like here you get like the older, more let's say mature
Okay.
travelers, let's call it. Hockey fans, certainly. But then you go over there and it just gets nasty.
This the old Vegas I've been hearing so much about. The old, it's
I
kind
don't
of
know, well,
still.
Flamingo was like that and
It's an old.
Tropicana.
I told you when I stayed there, I
Caesars.
ate for free with all the food that was left under the bed.
Oh, gross.
That place was a dump. I assume it still is.
Yeah.
But with the charm of
Yeah. And
history and
the old Imperial Palace was rough. Now it's the Link, but now that was a greasy hotel. That was like the first place I stayed for my buddy Stag, like 15 years.
See, and you know, because I too have spent time in a Vegas hotel room where it's not a business trip, and you do get up to some fun and
Shenanigans.
frivolity. So you know how dirty they can
Oh
get.
yeah, it's disgusting.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Just
This
Rusty
is great though.
I know you keep trying to avoid it, but it's.
Oh, I'm
can't
not
get
trying
it
to
out of my
avoid
head.
anything.
No. But
I just don't care.
You don't care, and you think, but I
I
just
don't, so I don't think about it because it doesn't matter to me. Whatever, I'm here. I'm sleeping in it. I'm not going to change that.
No.
So it is what it is.
The
I'm just going to deal with
smells.
it. Shower,
Stains.
just shower on a regular basis.
So many
and you're good to
stains.
go. Rusty Shackelford sent us.
Do you know what goes on in that shower?
It's the water that matters. He sent us the
Adequate.
timestamp. He sent us the audio and goes at about 1:30. He starts to comment. Begins with Bob saying "right place, right time." So I gotta go.
It is timing, right? It's a timing business. Who you know, timing.
Yeah.
So I'll have to go listen to that after the show just to see what he had to say. My brother also heard my insult to him when I said brothers or Michael stinks. So
That's okay. I have a Michael. Shout out to my brother Mike, who's definitely not watching and or listening.
And he's your good brother, right? Like he's the good one.
let's not
I
get
have two
too-
good brothers.
we're-
I have two great brothers that I love very, very much.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Donkey into the Parish Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. Back to the Oilers. Can we agree after last night that the Oilers, he says but the Oilers need a legitimate winger to play on the second line? Tarasenko?
Tarasenko's not having a good go in Ottawa.
Change of scenery.
And he was, 1 year, $5 million there? I believe it was.
People
But do you agree that second line wingers a top need then?
Not really.
You're in Fogel. Fogel, right?
Do I love Fogle there? No.
No, but like it's adequate, much like the water pressure. Like it's.
I like the third. I'll say this. I like the third line. I like Holloway, Perry, and McLeod. And I think there might be something there.
People this morning were again. Bukestad's name popped up a few times.
Did it really?
I have time for.
It's not happening.
Well, okay,
Tarasenko
that's-
was $5 million.
1 year, $5 million, right? Yeah.
But I'd rather him than a Tarasenko. I don't.
Who, Bukestad?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and like in a perfect world.
No, but But I'm just saying, like, I don't think you need to really bringing in a guy top six winger with the money and everything. Like, I don't think they need they don't need a Tarasenko. I would much rather prefer a guy like a Bukestad and then insulating and working from below and kind of beefing up the depth as opposed to having to find a winger for top six and
No.
because that's not going to work either, right? None of this is going to work.
Now, Pagnotta talked about it last Saturday on Hello Hockey. He said the Oilers are interested in Adam Henrique, but Anaheim would, if that deal were to happen, very much hypothetical, obviously. And this was Dave kind of passing this along to us as we were going around the National Hockey League. Like the Ducks, in theory, would have to eat some of the contract, and then the Oilers would have to find a way to make cap space. So it's like every time I talk to people from hockey ops and I say, what about this? You know, there's rumblings about that. What about the possibility of a player like this with X amount of money left on the, you know, and would cost this much cap wise? I'm always reminded how little cap space that the Oilers do have and that they only have 6 D-men right now. That's what every single time.
It's a jarring
They're like,
reality that you need to wake up
It's
to.
okay, but basically is the response I get. And the but is always cap space limited. We only have 6 defensemen. And I go, okay, good point. Can you get creative and make cap space? In theory, yes, but.
So you're moving CC out.
Well, after last night, people, they need an upgrade on CC. And it's like, well, sure.
You can't
And I
judge
don't
everything
disagree
based
with
off
that,
one
but like,
game.
I know. Well, and we were talking too. We haven't been mentioning him at. You know, he has been under the radar due to his play. Quiet. That's what you
Yeah.
want. Defensive backs in football, defensemen. Like we haven't been talking about him because he's been playing good. And as you said, one night doesn't necessarily facilitate a trade out of town.
Eric, like last week, even on our shows throughout the week, people were bringing up trading Kulak. It's like, why? You've got something going.
Well, you've got something going, and you mentioned the numbers game as well, where
Yeah.
you're getting one out to bring one back in, and now you're saying, well, I just don't like CC stylistically, and I want to replace him with somebody else. But what out there is possible? And as you mentioned, like it's pretty.
In theory, yes.
You have to find a
but
dance
is the
partner
response
that's
I get.
absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the dealings are and the goings back and forth, but
Yeah. In a perfect world, upgrade on CC. Yeah, of course. In a perfect world.
In a perfect
another
world,
top
what
six
would you
winger,
all do
of
to this
course.
roster? Top 6 winger upgrade on CC. Like if say nothing of that was an option right now to fix this team and prepare them for the Golden Knights, what would you do?
If you had like,
I'm
ample caps-
not saying like Crosby stuff, but like
no.
the spirit
So-
of moves.
So we're putting us into a situation right now where we're totally hypothetical, obviously.
Cap's
We're saying
gone.
Cap, no
And,
issue.
like almost
You have-
a bunch of assets to trade away.
You've got space to run with. Now you need to juice up this team for a big cup run. Go. Yes.
I think there's 4 for me.
4 moves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably want an upgrade on Calvin Pickard. Absolutely. You need another defenseman or 2. If there's cap space, and
not
it's
bad
not an
then.
issue. And then a bottom 6 winger or a bottom 6 centerman, and then another scoring winger.
And are you doing these in is this in any specific order?
No,
I
I
mean
just-
the goaltending.
that was-
I
I
think the
just threw-
goaltending
no,
though,
no.
if you had to shave one off, you'd
That'd
pick
probably
that?
be the
If we're gonna build the big board,
Yeah.
for me
big
it
board.
starts with the defender,
Sure.
yeah.
then probably bottom
Bottom
6
6?
center,
Yeah.
like 3rd, 4th line.
And then you're
center.
getting greedy after that.
Then probably
Winger or goalie. Or something else.
I'd probably go winger before goalie because you're gonna run Stuart Skinner.
I know.
You know, and it's
And
you're gonna go
Pickard-
where he
Pickard
goes.
ain't
It's not
bad,
Pickard.
eh?
Like to me, it's one of that. If you're having to go to a backup, things have gone wrong, right?
Yeah.
Either he got hurt or he's not playing well.
And we're juicing this up in a perfect world type situation.
Yes,
well, but
yes,
like
but
even
not too
But
crazy.
even as you start eliminating and getting to reality, that's how I would order the moves I would go for if I was Ken Holland. I'd want to fix defense. If I still somehow have room after that, then it's like that's how I would go about it. And yeah, goaltending would probably be last. I'm probably gonna like if the Oilers lose in the playoffs, I'll probably kick myself like why didn't they go get a goal or something? But it just I want to see what Stuart Skinner could do in these playoffs, and I think that there's the other moves would be more important than focusing on a backup who might not even play.
Right.
Like if Stuart Skinner plays well, but the Oilers they could still lose in the end.
Sure.
You just moved
well last
assets for just a backup. You know that's where I look at those other 3, and they could have much more immediate impacts on this team as opposed to this other person's only here as a Red Bull in case of emergency type thing. You know, we need this goalie in case of emergency.
Yeah.
That's the
Why
situation.
don't they just bring in a 2-liter Red Bull can as the
love
that
this.
is cheap?
How's he not sponsored?
Work
by
with
Red
the cap. What's that?
Like, how's Bob not like have a sponsorship with Red Bull?
Powered by Red Bull.
Oh, Oilers now powered by Red Bull.
Fueled by Red Bull.
I think, well, he was an excellent, I think he still is to a degree a bit of a salesman.
He can pitch.
Yeah.
He can pitch.
Maybe he just doesn't want to make it known that energy drinks are that prevalent in his world.
Or he keeps his options open.
Aha.
He doesn't want to
Smart
lock in with
man.
Red Bull because
Right.
when he gets upset and he wants to go have the rock star,
Today's
he's going
the
to go
rock
have the
star
rock
day.
star.
He loves the tampering
And when he's
window, eh?
locked in,
Yeah.
The energy drinks are just
he
tampering
wants to
with him.
enter the transfer portal whenever he can.
Hell
Sure, yeah.
yeah.
You know? And so he's going to make the switch to the different energy drink when it's time. So he doesn't want to lock in on that endorsement deal.
Good
6
point.
years of eligibility.
Can't do
7.
it.
He's
There's a college football guy going for his 7th year.
7?
In Utah.
I say that in jest,
Utah,
but
no,
this is-
Utah quarterback.
Okay.
He's coming back for his 7th year.
He's hurt like 3 times, right?
COVID was an issue.
COVID.
Oh, okay, yeah. COVID year will
There's a
do
few.
that, though.
It's my Miami Hurricanes player, too. My boys.
Yeah.
The you.
Your team.
Our team. How many years has
He's
he
your
done it?
teammate.
we.
Well, I've never called them teammates. We're not teammates.
I know.
It's my team, though.
Yeah, it's co-workers.
Hey, Zach DeCum wore a Golden Knights hat last night.
Was
Did
it
you
a
see
Golden
that?
Knights or a Henderson Silver Knights?
I thought it was a Golden Knights.
Okay,
But the
that
That was
Yeah,
logos are
Golden
very
Knights,
similar.
it looked
Yeah.
like.
I know what he was trying to do, and a funny man, and I have time for that type of play.
Yeah,
do.
I got it. But people
But I
weren't
entered
digging
the
it.
nasty chat and I said, please remove the lid.
Yeah. There were threats of
Oh, there were
ending
threats.
the practicum.
Those lasted into the morning. This
Did they?
morning. Oh,
Okay,
yes.
yep.
And now when anything, I mean, our Mike's had a little difficulty this morning as well, in which Maddie and Trevor, but it was, Zach to come again. Like he's
strikes again.
now a reputation is developed.
Right.
That's a bold move.
That was a bold
Well,
move.
he's put his
showed
line
up.
in the sand. Yeah.
9th season of college football.
9?
No.
Yes.
This is like old CIAU.
My-
You play 5 years junior, 5 years Canadian University. You get to the CFL at the age of 40. It was crazy. Like
Miami Hurricanes Cam McCormick will return for a 9th season in college.
God.
He was granted it this in January.
so COVID and injuries. Is that what we're, but that's like a good 4 years, hey?
How many degrees does this guy have?
All in communications.
Of course.
Yeah.
Bachelor of Science. Or Arts.
He began his career.
Telephonemanship.
Oh, yeah.
He began his career in Oregon in 2016. So missed out due to COVID.
2016.
2016. Missed significant parts of 4 different seasons due to injury, which along with his red shirt and the COVID year allowed him to petition the NCAA for a 9th season.
Man,
He's calling it his last ride.
I'd hope so.
You think?
Talk about getting the juice out of the squeeze, hey? Like, you're just wringing that rag.
Is he going to the United Football League next year? Like,
He's
what's going on?
25 years old.
Wow.
Like,
Hey, guys. Hey, classmates. You know, like,
He's like,
he's a man.
I'm a father of 4.
Well, and they grow so older in America, right? Like,
Yeah.
half of these guys in college, like, he probably has a family.
Yeah.
Wouldn't put it past him.
Probably looks like
he
he's
in
40.
2022, he finally was able to play a full season. He appeared in 13 games, 6 starts. He earned the Capital One Orange Bowl FWAA Courage Award for his perseverance.
All right.
The Courage Award.
Yeah.
What's his name?
He is Cam McCormick, tight end.
Cam McCormick.
Tight end.
Tight end.
Okay.
Ninth year.
Passed up in the draft. Has he declared for the draft ever?
Has he declared? I hereby declare at the age of 56.
Yeah, he's the next Brock Purdy.
Would you
but
take a
tight
look?
end.
Would you take a look, hey?
How can you not?
You want to know something?
How can you-
They always talk about how you need to let these prospects age a little more. We know. We'll be able to watch him this year and know. Does he translate
Cam
to the NFL?
McCormick.
Do
Cam-
it.
Cam
Is he a
McCormick.
CFLer? Dude,
He's a defensive.
should he be on
He's a defensive
a
end.
negotiation list?
In a year or two, you're going to see Cam McCormick, defensive end. He'll retool his game
for
as
the Birmingham?
right rush end for a tight end.
They're not the Stallions.
Barracuda.
Barracuda.
Birmingham
Back in the day.
Barracudas?
Oh, you're talking about the new.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm thinking
The United Football League.
I know the CFL.
defenders, commanders, some sort of army rank.
Shockers.
Yeah.
Battlehawks. Roughnecks.
The Van Wilder.
The
of college
name
football.
game in the league, I don't really. Yeah,
Did you guys talk CFL free agency yesterday?
we
Or
talked it
this
yesterday.
morning, I should say?
We talked a little bit this morning.
Did you get into your... Because your riders
my riders?
been
You hear that?
busy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we were working yesterday.
It
Manny,
was
let me tell
incredible
you,
just
we,
looking every so... Now,
don't-
next
we don't
Tuesday
stop.
on the Hangout, I think you're going to be by, Jay Milne's going to be
Yes,
by,
I'll be.
Lucas Holt's going to be by from Whale and the Wolf, and I'll be by as it's officially open CFL free agency and these players officially can sign their contracts. Boris Beatty is an Elk, though, because
Yeah.
he was released by the Argos, so he signed his
Correct,
contract.
right.
Anyone else, it was tampering period, so unless they're re-signing with their team, they can't be official till next week. So we'll have full coverage of CFL free agency next Tuesday.
well, another Argo
But it
jumping
just
ship
seems-
as well too.
But
And-
it seems
and
with the riders,
Great
like
pun.
always, like everything yesterday was them retooling that team.
the AJ Ouellette expected acquisition is, it's
You
not
expected that?
no,
Oh,
but
I see what
because
you're saying.
it's
I
not-
see what you're
not
saying. Yeah, okay, I
formal,
see what
yeah.
you're saying.
tampering and all. I don't want to get
It's a
sued.
good get.
It was a dream of mine, being a Rough Riders supporter. I was like, okay, the Grey Cup, him dropping the F-bombs, like the guy is a dude.
Yeah.
And the guy has an attitude. And
Yeah.
and it's I've said it, and you can maybe translate to a multitude of sports. You can't win with a team of like choir boys type of mentality.
Right.
Paraphrasing that.
Yeah. No, you're right.
He brings a presence. He brings an attitude. He is a dude. We were talking last night. You think that position, I might slightly disagree, but that's a position that a new regime, a new coach, a fresh day, fresh start, running back is what you said.
When you don't
too.
have a
When
quarterback.
you don't have a, yeah. And so now
Or you don't know who you're full. Like Trevor Harris isn't the long-term quarterback.
This
of
is
the
the
team.
last year
can't be.
for
Well,
Harris
he's
on his
old
deal,
and he's
right?
going to
Yeah.
get hurt. I mean, this is good. They got Hardrick out of Winnipeg, obviously addressing some needs on the offensive tackle position. Maybe you can argue inside in the guards, and you're a little tight there, but I like it based on the guy who he is, the personality, and his style of play. I think it's a 2-in-1 acquisition. I told you that too. The player on the field and just the attitude and the aura he brings. And I think when you're starting anew, Corey Mason, this is an Argonaut, but from the offensive side of the ball, I thought it'd be a defensive exodus there to Saskatchewan. But I like the move. And you spell him off with a guy like Frankie Hickson in the backfield. That's a good thunder lightning type of alternative as opposed to a Jamal Morrow Hickson, which was, I really wasn't getting that combo. So I like it if it does end up happening. But to my larger point too, like the Argos, Elks fans, and I get it. It's been tough. It's been tough sledding for the last little while. But the exodus from Toronto,
Yeah.
that's got to be worrisome. And Pinball Clemens, you talk about like a culture and everything. I feel sorry for pinball. People don't. I don't think people hate pinball, but
you
just
allow
kind
these
of like.
free agents to get to the markets.
I know. No,
They just get
You
big
might
tickets.
believe. Well, you also might
Taking
believe
up all the
like
money.
they might sit there and go, "We could do another AJ. We found AJ Ouellette. We'll find the
did.
next running back. We're not worried about that."
and I've said that
And
to
I
the
look for
CFL.
some of those players. I think maybe they look at it and go,
You're
Good.
expendable. Yeah.
There's an American. I will find another
I know a guy,
American
yep.
that is going to replace you. I always
That's-
forget. I would think always AJ Ouellette is Canadian. I always forget that.
No, he's from Ohio.
I know.
Yeah.
And his wife is a strength and conditioning coach with the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, people keep saying, "Oh, the Alouette should have missed out because he's a French name."
It's that, and that. Maybe it's because of the French name.
No, he's got a southern twang. Like
It's-
he's a good dude.
Oh, yeah.
2
I've
seasons ago in CFL Fantasy, when Andrew Harris got banged up, I picked Ouellette up because I'm thinking, perfect. I just need a
Ratio
replacement
buster,
for him.
eh?
And I couldn't use him in the Canadian spot. I was like, damn, he's not Canadian.
No.
Waste of a pickup that year.
Yeah.
But
He was decent.
no, you make
Last
a good
year was
point
great.
though, in that the CFL, I've always said, and it's the toughest sport, pro league, to I think manage a team with all the variables. Getting guys to come up here, they're getting paid. We're all in the kind of the same tax bracket. But if you have a scouting system and a pipeline that can keep feeding guys in, and you populate the league with these guys, bring them in for nothing, sell them off for, or let a few of them walk as happens, or you can trade them or parlay them. That's the key to success. And in a constant, and I know fans don't like when you get a name on the back of a jersey and the guy, but that
some
is
of those the players you could keep. Like you could still have those teams.
well. Then I would say too,
where you have the staples that are
Yes,
there for a long
yes.
time, but you could move all the other
maybe you
pieces
introduce a
around.
franchise type of thing to keep some sort of consistency. But in the CFL, things are moving all the time,
Always.
and you got to be fresh. and you
Except the
gotta
Bombers. They were
And
that
that was
first
your-
team.
But that was your example yesterday. Toronto unable to keep it, or maybe not wanting to keep it because they have other plans. But Winnipeg
Has
able
done
to
it.
keep it all together. And in this league, that's
This
a
is
tough
the
thing
first
to do.
year
Tough thing to do.
we are now seeing
It's starting
the
to crack.
partial exodus of the
Yeah.
Bombers.
And Oliveira and Schoen, those are bright lights.
Yep.
But the offensive line
Hardrick,
now is starting to, and they're
losing
all a
him.
year older. Yeah.
They lost someone to Calgary. Houston. Was it?
Mario Houston. Yeah.
People are going to start leaving Winnipeg now.
Well,
And
once-
some of
once
those
the
guys
door's
get a little
open,
older.
Yeah.
And like,
if somebody tells you the party's
They lose
over,
one
are you
more
staying
offensive
around?
line,
You're probably
like-
going to leave too. Yeah.
yeah, but that's going to be interesting to watch too with Winnipeg. It's can they replace their O-line? Can they make sure? Because even retaining some of those guys like Stanley Bryant, they're older.
Yeah.
You're going to need to be ready to get the next player in there to replace them.
And that's
I
why
hope they take a step back. I
It'd be
hope
nice for
BC
the
Lions
league,
take
yeah.
a little step forward. There's a little more parity between the top two in the West.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens with the three other Prairie teams in the West. And
how they settle the third.
I like the Elks move yesterday. It sounds like they're getting kick returner.
When you're Dusty
But everything
mentioned
I
it
keep
too.
saying,
Well, say it.
they're not adjusting the O-line. Got to adjust the O-line.
They're happy with it, evidently.
How?
On your fine program in the morning, G. Roy Simon talked about how there was like a satisfaction level with everybody coming
And
back
not
on the
alluding
O-line.
to it at all being an area of concern.
Right.
It was just a business as usual. And maybe another year together, continuity, those things. I've said with the Bombers O-line too, and now picking off these old guys who have been all-stars, well, that's all fine, but how are they on their own? This is a unit. They've been playing together for a long time. They know each other. And maybe sometimes, Maddie, and I don't mean to, I understand where you're coming from, but perhaps they figure things out, get a little more tight. Can the personnel work? I don't know, but it's always funny to watch on the lines and when it comes to gelling. And that's why these Bombers offensive linemen kind of going out and doing their own thing. Like it's in a music sense. You're good in a band. You go out and do the solo record and it's like, Yeah.
I'll bet that they don't get it right with the hope that I'm wrong. Hope that it's solid, it's there. Because I just fear that this is the perfect storm of bad coming.
And that could very well.
Because if the O-line isn't good to start, if they haven't gelled, you didn't go out in an off season where it looks like there's a lot of really good offensive linemen. You could go rebuild your offensive line with. If you don't do that, and then you also made the change of quarterback from the guy with the legs to the guy who can't run, that can be a recipe for disaster.
But if MBT can have a quicker release and see the game faster and get the ball out of there a half to a second,
Sure.
maybe that does help the O-line.
But there's also going to be those moments where
Yeah.
maybe he gets the ball out a half second sooner, but he rushes it and it's picked.
Yeah.
Or as he steps back, he's not seeing anything. Well, now instead of the potential of no loss or even a potential gain, it's a definite loss because he's going to get sacked. That if that pocket fully collapses, he's not going to be able to escape as easily and still salvage something where Trey Ford could. And we've seen it. And that's the fear I have with this O-line is that if it doesn't work out the way they want it to, and they then apparently think that it can get it to, then you've really hurt yourself, to me, in the quarterback spot by really restricting. Like, it's not even a Trey Ford running, having Michael Riley's ability to run. is very important, I think. Like quarterbacks like that, when you have that O-line. If the O-line's not strong enough.
But does the leak reported acquisition, because it's a returner, right?
Yeah.
And on a franchise and a team that have been, shut out, and you mentioned Trey Ford as an excitement. Maybe this signing too is a bit of a, hey, look, exciting, flash, dash. Like that doesn't do it for you.
The Elks fan base is too smart.
Yes.
To have
This isn't a
a
coastal
kick
team.
returner wave flashed over here while they're upset that the QB has been taken away over here.
I know.
I
But
can
most
see where you're
outstanding.
coming from with that.
Yeah.
But I think more people would be like, well, the quarterback's on the field much
I
longer
know.
than a kick returner / punt returner
I
specialist. Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what he could do. But like again, you could have not signed MBT. You could have saved the contract money there. It was $500,000 upwards, but $400,000 I think is the hard money to start. You could have spent $400,000 on the offensive line. Kept Taylor Cornelius too as a backup.
Who apparently is getting some.
He's getting to look
interest.
BC and Calgary.
Yeah.
You bring in Leak. You have a better offensive line to see what Trey Ford could do, and you give him Leak, who will give him better field position. Hopefully, because that's the key. It's not the touchdowns to me I care about. For
Yeah.
returners.
You're talking.
It's
setting you up.
can you
and
catch the ball at the 20 and all of a sudden though
make good decisions?
get to the
and-
40?
Yeah.
And it's a shorter field for the offense to have to deal with. I would have loved to see that for Trey Ford and what the Elks could have done.
But in terms of scrap heaping free agency too, and I don't think you need to go out and spend the money on the returner.
But they did.
I know they did,
Or whatever it's
but I'm
going to
just
be.
saying there are certain positions, and I sing the same refrain with running back as well. I would rather build that from within, due to the well, and some franchise can't find them, but
Well, the
but
Elks
there
can't
are.
find it. They
I know,
they
but
found
as a
one,
returner,
and
I would
there was
audition
the
guys on the
unfortunate issue.
roster to see who wants this thing and who can take it, and again, as you say, if you're not looking for home runs or grand slams, I just want you to get on base. I just want you to ball control, ball security. Don't make us. Don't dance back 20 yards and get tackled for 20 yards. Just get the ball up the field. And I think there's guys on that roster that could do that role. Now, again, if
Kyron
this,
Moore likes the return.
And I know.
And they brought him in last year to
So
help
that's
do
what
that.
I'm saying.
But that to me now just tells me that
Well,
he's going to be featured more in the offense.
okay, and that's a good thing. But I'm just saying that too is a position where I wouldn't necessarily go out. I'm with you. If you're going out free, I'm getting no lineman. I'm getting
Well, that's
I'm
the
getting
thing.
stuff to build from the bottom. I'm not really getting the flash and dash because you could argue maybe it's already on your roster.
That's where I like it. If the season doesn't go well for the Elks, and let's take that approach quickly, I feel like it'd really be bad to look back and be like, you didn't improve your offensive line when we all said improve your offensive
But you
line.
get a
And you
returner.
went and got a returner.
Yeah.
And you brought in a 35-year-old quarterback. Like, if it doesn't work, there's going to be points we can point to like, this is why it didn't work. Now, it might really work.
Right.
MBT might turn this offense around. He might be able to move the ball downfield, and that makes it even better if he's always getting the field position that we would like to see the Elks get. So we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. I'm excited for CFL season to come.
I can tell.
The big game is going to be fun in Vancouver this year.
The big game.
The big game will
We
be.
will be
we will
at
be
the
at that
big
big game. Will the Elks be there?
They could.
They could. They could be at the big game.
They could
be there.
get to the big game in a variety of ways. They could get there through the West. They could get there through the East.
I want that to happen once.
It will. One of
And
these
it needs
days.
to happen
One
east.
of these days.
But
We've
you know
been
it's going to
close.
be east through the west.
That would.
Because
and
it's
that
never
would be
happened.
Just delicious.
It's never happened.
God,
so you know
that'd
the
be great.
first time an East team comes through the West, they're going to get it done, and it's going to just going to annoy the prairies.
Last season,
it
it was
should.
getting close for a while. Like
Yeah.
there
Yes,
there
it
was a
was.
little bit of.
And then the Riders, and in August, kind of picked it up a little bit, and then the Stamps got going, and you guys went down.
We won Labor Day, and that was our Grey Cup. Big D Dolagala. Never forget that one. A Labor Day classic. And then the
I think
season.
there's a player in Dolagala.
There could be.
I think there is.
He's
He's
got
a
the
giant.
He's got the physique.
Yeah.
Decision making, maybe. He loves to air it out.
Yeah,
Loves
he
a good
does.
deep baller,
Yeah.
Jake Dolagala. But yeah, no, he ain't fine. Mason fine, that is.
Okay, really quickly,
Go for it.
the crossover thing sounds like it's got a limited window here because team number 10 is a priority. Finally.
No, but it always stays.
Well,
It
when
always stays. You think it's going to... Don't
They
they
don't get
eliminate
rid
it
of
with
it.
team number 10?
if you're
I don't think so. No, because they always want that if you're
so
better-
bad, you should be
Interesting.
because it's the counter to the one division league.
Yes.
it's that kind of
Yeah.
We want the best teams
I-
in it, and I agree.
The way I would solve it is I would stick with divisions. There'd be East-West.
For
The
scheduling,
winner of the
or-
division, just because that's
Rivalry.
where the rivalry
There's rivalry, yeah.
It's why I'm okay with not seeing every team twice. I'm okay with an East team not coming to Edmonton every year.
Absolutely, yeah.
I would rather make sure there's more games
I
for
want
the
rivalries.
Elks against the Riders and the Stamps
Yeah.
than make sure that the Red Blacks have an appearance in Edmonton.
I don't want this to be modern day college football.
Yeah. So, but I would go, you got your division winners. They get the bye to the East-West final. And then you rank everyone else in like a wild card spot. And it goes 3 through 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, get sorted out to who they're playing. And Montreal could be hosting Saskatchewan in the division semifinal. Calgary could be hosting BC, and the winner moves on to take on Winnipeg and Toronto or something like that. Whatever it might be. I just want the 6 best teams in the playoffs.
Fair enough. We did get a text about the O-line. May I?
Go for it.
From Tom Dixon's mustache, great handle. The O-line will be automatically better this year in Edmonton. When you have a pocket passer, it is a lot easier for the O-line to lock for because they know where the QB is. It's hard to block for forward. Oh, so that was supposed to be block. It said lock. It's hard to block for forward because they don't know where he is. And I know he improvises a lot. So
Okay, but there's the 2 arguments I'll make to that. The first one is they played 8 games with Taylor Cornelius, who didn't like running. He could run. He didn't like running. He was a
Under
pocket
McAdoo.
quarterback. Sure, but the O-line didn't protect him.
Yeah.
So why is it automatically going to be? Trey Ford came in because everything was going bad still, including the O-line. And, like, he's not going to be Lamar Jackson. But all these narratives around Trey Ford I heard with Lamar Jackson. This guy only runs. He can't pass. He can't do anything else.
can't think the game. Or
Can't
whatever
think.
process
And,
at
like,
super
people
high
can say,
level.
well, he hasn't done anything in the playoffs. Well, but he's taken the Ravens to the top of the AFC twice in the regular season. There's
Something to be
something
said
to be
about
said.
that. Yeah, yeah.
In the regular season, has gone out and beaten teams week in, week out.
Not in
Gone
the
to-
NFC. No offense. But this is in the AFC.
The AFC.
Which is a tough nut.
And he's so, but he now, people watched him this year and went, oh, this guy can throw the football. He can pass. You got to wait and see what could happen with Trey Ford, but what could he do with an O-line that would protect him? Maybe he isn't as scrambly.
Right.
Because he's fine with the protection he's going to get from the O-line. But I'll go back to, first 8 games of the season, they had that pocket quarterback. It didn't work for the O-line. And Steve McAdoo, I don't think there was much change with the O-line between McAdoo and Jarius Jackson.
Right.
It was more...
But you're talking about you need to see a little more, right, from him? Like
Who?
you're
Trey
Trey
Ford.
Ford, not the finished product, right?
No.
I
There's
know
a development.
But the problem
the
is-
Elks have a better chance of winning more football games with McLeod Bethel-Thompson this year than with Trey Ford.
today.
I agree with
Yeah.
that. But long term, I could see Trey Ford being a star in this league for another 10 years. If the progression goes the way it
Sure.
looks like it could go.
Yeah. The unfortunate
And
thing though, he's in
McLeod Bethel-Thompson has maybe 2 to 3 years.
but he's in a market where they need to win yesterday. And Jones,
But-
he's painted himself into a position where they need results like now, and like it's unfortunate you can't.
But I'll flip. But I think if you pull a lot of Elks fans and you said with Trey Ford, this team's going to win, let's say, 8 games.
yeah.
With McLeod Bethel-Thompson, they're going to win 10 games. They're going to be in the playoffs heading to BC. Trey Ford maybe just missing. I think there's a lot that will be like, I could live with the Trey Ford one.
Fans could. Chris
Because-
Jones can't though. That's the problem. That's
If the fans are okay with it, then I think the organization could be okay with it. If they see legit progress from 2023 to 2024, they see all of a sudden a quarterback and going, no, this guy took the big step we need. I think they could sit there and go to Chris Jones and be like, no, we're going to keep you because the plan is in place and we're seeing this plan.
But do
and if
people-
the fans are okay with that, if the fans go and be like, yeah, an 8-win with Trey Ford and we see him progress, yeah, they're not going to call for Chris Jones' head as much. So you can live with that.
and that's a fan point of view, but it's not like I'm just wondering, are people 780-218-9999 nasty chat? Are you okay? Like, are you okay? I'm legit asking the question because I don't know.
There'll be
And
a lot of
that's
people that will just say, I just want to see wins. I
or
get that.
playoffs or whatever,
Yeah.
or
And if Trey or Chris Jones should be out if they don't
because
win.
I like where you're coming from. If you rewound this thing 3 years, if we were 3 years ago, and sure, yes, there's some breath there, and there's some time, and there's some everybody's still kind of kumbayaing. This thing is now at a boiling point, and unfortunate as it is, and again, Chris Jones has been heading this thing. He's now in a position. He's on thin ice.
The flip side, though, to this, too, is Chris Jones might be able to win and still not have a job with this team anymore. because of the new ownership.
Well, sure.
Oh, right.
So to me, I look at this too.
Nothing's for certain. Tomorrow's not
That's
guaranteed.
where Rick
here.
Lawler to me is very important in all this, where he goes, he's got to protect this asset
His thinking is long term.
long-term and what potential prospective owners might want to do with this franchise and not and balance that with Chris Jones wanting to save his job, where you might sit there if you're Rick Lawler and be like, well, talking to these people, there's a 50-50 chance Chris Jones is back, or they're going to retain him or get rid of him no matter what happens. I've got to watch what he does here and make sure this franchise doesn't have a Peter Chiarelli moment.
Well, so is the question this morning for Elks fans, would you rather see the Elks make the playoffs with MBT leading the charge this season and then risk losing Trey Ford forever? Or would you rather miss the playoffs this season
With Trey Ford, seeing what you get.
and
I'll just say,
secure-
seeing what you get with Trey Ford.
but secure
which,
his...
Well, it also might be Trey Ford might prove that he's not the quarterback, right?
Okay,
that could happen
but
too.
say he
I'm
does.
not
Say
going to say
everything turns
I'm
out,
not going to
maybe.
sit here and say that he's guaranteed going to have a great season.
But would
in
you
that
rather make the
sense, but-
playoffs with a one-off
Yes.
MBT year? Or would you
Or-
rather miss the playoffs this year, but knowing
And you now know with
somewhat
Trey
that there's-
Ford, and if it's good,
Yeah.
he's here.
If it's good, yeah, and we're assuming it would be in that scenario. But I'm just curious because what is it? Do you need to get into the playoffs and have a sniff? Because the CFL too, you get in the dance.
Anything
You
can
got
happen.
when you win 2 or 3 games.
Yep.
It's you got to get there though, and it's a lot easier said than done. But I just wonder the curiosity, and would you rather be somewhat set up, and that's, as you said, it's not a guarantee, or would you rather just have the fast track to some success or something?
Oh, this nasty chat wasn't loading for me for the longest time. Now I got it going.
Give it a like.
Somebody saying
subscribe.
quite the leg cross by me, I think.
What about the league cross?
I don't just quite the leg cross.
I like a good leg.
Bones.
Duck Dad, if the Elks
it.
don't make the playoffs this season, I don't see the team making a run at it till 2027 at the earliest.
Wow.
Huge risk this season that could tank 3 seasons. And
What's the
that's
risk?
It's that
MBT or
yeah, you've done this.
Okay.
You there's a potential, like, look, we could talk about various trains coming and stuff.
yeah.
One that could come for all this is all of a sudden the Elks next year are going, we have no quarterback.
Right.
Oh,
Trey
yeah.
Ford's walking, McLeod
Worst
Bethel
case scenarios
Thompson's
here, yeah, you wanna-
Thompson's retiring, and you're going, oh, we got to go find another quarterback. And the reason Trey Ford's walking is because we've pissed him off as an organization.
Right.
I'm speaking as Chris Jones.
Yes.
Yes. No.
Just making sure.
Yeah. No. I'll let that one go.
So that's where, and then all of a sudden, yeah, everything's pushed back, and that's where then the team goes, okay, well, we're going to fire Chris Jones, and then whenever you bring someone new in, to me, it's always a 3-year cycle. It's 3 years. I give
Doesn't
them
have to
always
be
3
though.
years.
Doesn't have to be. I depending on who it
At
is.
least 2. At
Sure.
least 2.
Sure.
And that's where I'd rather, if this season, if it goes to crap, I'll think worst case scenario. If this season goes to crap, I'd rather have it gone to crap, seeing what Trey Ford can do as a starting quarterback, as opposed to seeing what McLeod Bethel Thompson can do with this team.
2026, or actually 2025, the Jared Dagey era begins.
He looked good in camp, apparently.
That
I'm
was
just going to
such
throw
a
that
big
out there.
You,
I
the forgotten man in
Hey,
the whole mix. Hey,
hey.
maybe we.
Maybe
Well-
Cam McCormick is
well,
the
look-
guy that this team needs.
9-year NCAA.
A 9-year vet.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do it. I have 5 kids
The last
and a
ride.
mortgage.
He'll come into the Canadian
Yeah.
Football League.
He'll
play
teach-
D-line.
Yeah. He calls MBT son. Got a few things to teach you, son. Sport. He calls him Sport. That's his
Sport.
nickname. Hey, Sport. Give me another Gatorade.
He thought Evan Bouchard was old.
Oh,
Wait till
yeah.
Cam McCormick comes
Yeah.
to the Elks.
9 years of NCAA football.
and just
played
going on
for
this
8
too.
teams.
Your theory with the offensive line, and if it is so porous and crappy, injuries happen in this league, and you do need 2 quarterbacks throughout the full
And that-
CFL schedule.
absolutely.
So I do wonder, and again, we can make up all the scenarios, and who knows what's right, but you would assume that Trey Ford will get a look here or there, or maybe a game here or a game there, or a couple weeks in a row, depending if the offensive line and MBT, maybe, I mean, he's not young in the tooth or anything, and I do, or even Deggy. How does he factor into the mix?
I
who
just wanted to
knows?
throw that out there. But I know that there's like potential with Dagey.
They
Absolutely.
really liked him through
Yeah.
camp.
Why
And
not?
apparently,
Yeah.
through camp, the reason Trey Ford didn't start at the start
Because he was...
he had a poor camp.
Yeah.
And that was from other people, too. That wasn't even just the organization
Yeah.
that were around, watched it, and said, I think Andrew from Turf District, I think he jumped in and asked you chat during the season and said, like, he was at camp a few times. And Trey Ford just looked off through training camp, and Daggy surpassed him.
Yeah.
It's not the excuse as to why it took till week 9
No,
to
no,
get him in
that's
there.
a different-
But for the first few weeks, it made sense why Daggy got ahead of Trey Ford on the depth chart, because he did look good. So we'd have to see what he could do moving forward. I love the CFL.
That's fascinating stuff. And again, we talked over a couple scenarios. I mean, there's probably hundreds
There's
of
lots.
ways this thing's going to go this season. With the
this is all of a sudden the Chris Jones defense picks it up, and they're a top team.
Well,
once again,
okay.
because defense wins you. There's a chance that the Elks, I was going to say Oilers, the Elks have a tough schedule through the first 4 weeks. They have a bye week, week 5. Is there a coaching change in week 5? Like, I could see this going in every single direction.
even things we haven't
right
discussed
now.
yet.
Yes.
Or
like
ever will.
it's yeah, if we're talking a coaching change this year, wouldn't shock me. If we're talking about this team having major success, it also wouldn't completely shock me. Like it's
No,
there's
no.
such a wild card team going into this season.
But look on Chris Jones's defense now. What do you think there? I mean, Pete Robertson, Oakman, rumored. I mean, maybe those names have been tossed around, but talk about the O-line so much. His vaunted defense,
Robert
not as
Kimbichi.
advertised, eh?
Robert Kimbichi.
Kimbichi, yeah.
Yeah.
With
Card.
comes some baggage, former Cardinal, but
Yeah.
maybe
Different cat.
But maybe last chance saloon here for the
Right.
guy. So maybe he
His
finds
last
himself.
ride.
And well,
Sorry. I just also love how he's calling it his last ride. 9 seasons in the NCAA. Didn't want to do it 8. 9 is this.
Nine's a magic number.
Can't do, he needs to be allowed for 10. Just to do it.
his kids are attending the same college he's playing at.
Oh my.
He wants to do the LeBron,
Yeah,
but
hello.
in college.
Yeah, yeah.
He wants
Yeah.
to. He wants to play with his kids in college.
This is the U, hey? Yeah,
My
Miami.
school.
My
But
school.
my school.
My school.
My school.
He's
Yeah,
got a
back-
Justin's ring. to
Actually,
prove
Top
it.
Golf had the.
Oh yeah,
Poker
I
chips.
call them poker chips, but they're the ball markers. Eh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't realize that there were.
Shh, don't tell. I bought a few.
No, I know. I wasn't gonna say. I was just gonna talk with you. I literally wasn't gonna say things.
I say to the lady, how much for the poker chips here? And she's like, they're. She was very polite. She didn't call me on my flub.
He was looking at one. He's like, "Oh, the other ones look different than this one." And I showed him how they flip
I'm
the
not a golf
reversible.
guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not a golf
The little-
guy, right? So they had a big wall of
thing
them,
up.
all teams, NCAA.
They didn't have one college football team.
Which?
Washington State Cougars.
Oh no.
Well, the lesser known of the Apple Cup contendants, but they had a few Oilers ones there, a Top Golf ball marker.
Oilers were sold quite a bit. Actually,
Yeah,
you could tell. Obviously, a lot of people bought. They had baseball, basketball,
NFL,
football.
yeah. It was great. It was a big wall. $8 per.
And you
But
got
a
one?
nice-
It's actually a good price.
I got a couple for a
those.
few people.
Oh hey.
Few
Oh hey there.
people in my life.
I
but,
love Top Golf. We
Top Golf is
saw
amazing.
the pool was closed.
Damn
Because
it.
of the time of the year.
You can go there
But
whenever you want.
It looked nice though. Yeah.
Looked like that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Go swing the club for a little bit and then go sit in the pool.
Even just going and
relax.
drinking there, to be
Golf.
honest, at the bar.
You can.
You get that outside, like it's just it was a nice vibe, nice atmosphere. If you're looking to pregame, if you're coming down for another hockey game or any Vegas event, like
Well, and
that's
there's a lot of other fans that rented bays to
yep,
swing
lots
clubs
of jerseys.
before the game.
You get that energy out
great-
beforehand. Hey, that
Right?
nervous energy. You're
Yeah.
kind of you feel good.
Get the swing going.
Get the swinging.
I love Top Golf.
I just want to go do it, but I can't.
You can't. You're down to 1 arm and a half.
You've been doing enough with one arm. You could have you bowled with
Somebody
one arm.
did-
Hell, you should have just swinging that driver. Whap! The one arm, hey, just gets beefed up. Your
What
arm's
I-
going to be huge by the end of this. You'll be walking with a
What I
slant.
really like too is if we did like we get to go to those bays and all that. Like it would have been. You have specifically have to ask for left clubs. They only set up right ones. So I would have to like, can you bring the lefts? They'd bring this big bag of lefts, and then I would use it with one hand. They would be so pissed with me, I
This
think.
guy.
Who is this guy? What is he
guy.
doing here?
Yeah.
Just use the right club.
Let me tell you about the Elks
So-
offensive line, you say, as they. And another thing.
AJ Ouellette.
I will take a Michelob Ultra and an offensive lineman for the Edmonton Elks. What is Chris Jones thinking? You tell me. And then just stare at them.
Tell me.
Tell
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
I'm here for tampering.
This is the EST Hangout presented by White Claw. Hard seltzer. The difference is clear, and portions of this hour, I haven't really used this most yet, so we'll see if I can get this working. I think I am. Also doing something weird with my legs. Flip over.
You're missing it.
Yeah, I must have not put the right thing
There
in.
you go.
There it is. Portions of this hour brought to you by the Hive Product Marketing. Products that bring the buzz. The HiveProductMarketing.com, the official merch partner of EST. Lieutenant Eric wearing the EST hat. I have my hat here in Vegas. So does Dusty. We'll be giving away some of the merch at Super Bowl or the big game
The
at
big
Century
game.
Casino Sports
Yep.
Bar and Lounge on Sunday. And we do have some available for purchase still. EdmontonSportsTalk.com. At the very top, it says Shop EST. Go in there, and we have inventory. There are pictures. People could click. It sends you to like a Google Drive that has some pictures.
No, you set that up.
I set
did
that
you?
up right away.
Good
I'll
for
put
you.
that- Put that there,
Yeah,
and then
that's customer service.
we'll try to get some things out to you if you want to purchase or come by the office when we get back, and you can buy those. But that's all thanks to our wonderful merch partner,
You,
Hive Product
you guys
Marketing.
were dishing stuff out yesterday. to
Stickers.
some
I had a
EST
handful of
stuff.
stickers. You want to come by Super Bowl 2? We'll have like lanyards and stickers and
Yeah,
stuff
we'll
for
have
free.
full of those.
Yeah, free stuff. And-
Yeah. No, we were going around, like, people in Beer House gave some too.
I like
Nice.
giving Edmonton Sports Talk stickers to like Vegas sites, like true people that live. I'm like, hello, I met it. You as you do, you talk and you. Where are you from? I said, here's something to remember me by. Like, I think that's pretty neat. Cross-border relations, our American brothers and sisters. I didn't put one up rogue though. I told you the EST
Oh.
guerrilla marketing campaign where I
yeah.
put them up in bathrooms. I never had the chance.
Damn. Where would you put it? Here.
Golden Knight's bathroom.
Golden
Gold
Knights
Knights bathroom. The Bud Light Lounge. I was thinking of maybe putting one up there last night. Today, I think we'll do a little walking and I'll sticker a bit.
I respect
I'll
that
sticker
very
a bit.
much.
I know. Yeah, and if you ever see an EST sticker down here, let us know and we'll
Take a picture.
We'll give you a sticker. You find the sticker.
You
Perhaps
find
a
one, we'll
lanyard.
send
You
you
can
one.
peel it off yourself and keep it.
A couple of texts to get to. 780-218-9999. This one comes in, says, not happy with dropping 4 down chart. He has brought excitement to this team that has been missing, plus spending big money on a guy where they could fix other areas. And then follows up with, I agree with Matty. Team news to see what Ford can do with help in front. You have to put years of time and money for this QB to leave. That will piss off fans. And I'm also laughing because this texter also added in a holy expletive, Bob, from yesterday.
The image of us three on the couch, kind of leaning over and
I think I could pull that one up.
staring
quickly.
at him.
DVD
and
was
he's
rolling in
he's
his
holding
eyes.
court. Like, yeah, DVD's just like, here we go.
DVD's known Bob for like 25
Well,
years.
he's been there, done that.
Yeah.
But we were.
Yeah, people saw us on the. We were on during the anthem on the game broadcast.
Really?
People like during
Yeah.
we're getting tweets all of a sudden, like, and you could see just like our heads.
Dusty
Oh.
without a hat. They're like, it's Dusty.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, so like we're noticed right away. I think Redbeard, Scott Laurie.
Oh, get out of here.
I think he's the one that.
Good
showed it
eyes,
for-
Scotty.
Scott coming
Yeah,
up.
this is
to
us
the
when
big
we saw Bob was coming.
game. Who screen grabbed that?
Elks herd.
Elkser did.
Scout
those
did that
guys.
one.
Attaboy, Scout. T-Mac, the rugby guy, says, I love all the CFL talk in February. Can't
Yeah.
wait for the season. Well, we are in the
Can't ignore
tampering
it.
period.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no bigger football story I think in the world than CFL Tampa.
No,
period.
That's why Ocho
especially
Cinco's here.
I think.
Yeah,
that's
especially
the
around
biggest
here.
thing. There's
Nothing going on.
I saw an Elk shirt in the city yesterday. So
Was it the one
you
you,
know?
were wearing?
we don't have to say that, but I saw one.
Okay. Oh,
I saw one.
I see what you
So
did there.
it was there. It was
Yeah.
represented. The CFL was represented this week
There's-
at Super Bowl.
Actually, we ran into Farhan and Dave Naylor and had a libation or two with those two who are here for the big game.
They give you any nuggets?
there
What
were
were they
some
say?
nuggets exchanged.
Yeah, the nail gun.
Yeah, there was some nuggets exchanged, some interesting chatter in
A little bit of
regard to-
tampering, if you will.
There was some tampering in regard to the green and gold and some potential things moving forward if some ownership ended up or potential owners got the team what they might do.
Ooh.
And it was like, really? That's interesting. I'm not going to go into it because it'll open up a huge can of
Well, let's
worms
go to
that
the
we
bar
have-
for a couple hours, and then we'll come back up, hang out again, and then you can
Yeah,
share.
Hangout at
sounds
night.
great.
Hang. Oh yeah.
We'll do a
Las Vegas at dark.
after hours
Yeah.
hangout.
He's gonna tell you everything.
I'll tell you, I got a lot of problem with you.
They told me a lot of things, and
Yeah. No, but that was good. It was interesting.
but so, without getting too much,
Yeah.
and taking their words, Elks aren't done yet, or kind of in terms of
Oh.
free agency and.
Oh no, this was
This
not.
was ownership.
like-
This was a deeper
yeah,
dive.
ownership, franchise, what the future may hold. But
Interesting.
it was kind of like really
If you had glasses, you would have taken them off.
slowly
Interesting, huh? Like it's one of those. Yeah.
squinted at them. You don't say.
Based on a lot that has been told, I think they'll have announced some ownership by training camp for the Elks.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's a couple months here.
Like it's gonna happen this year. It's
do you-
just a matter of getting the press release
An
saying
individual, a
major
conglomerate,
announcement.
like a.
It's
I
gonna
don't know.
be, I would
A
think, like a
group?
group of some people,
Yeah.
but like one person is leading the charge
Sure, yeah,
type
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That is trying to, there's money in Edmonton.
I-
There's also a lot of people that still care about that team. In
Absolutely,
Edmonton.
there
Given-
are.
And so I
given-
think that they're working on it, and there's someone there that's like, okay, I've got the money. Get a couple people to help me with this.
But you boys
take
are
over this
You boys
team
are
and
full
we'll
in for private ownership. Because I just think the public model is bad, depending on who's running it, right? Like even private ownership can be bad if you have a bad
Yeah.
private owner. Like
Yeah.
it-
Totally.
So
I see
think
the pros
everybody's-
and cons of both.
Yeah, yeah.
That I don't know
everybody's
I
crapping
don't
on
know
the
what's
public
right and
model
what's
given,
wrong.
given the board of governors. Well,
Yeah.
maybe
When you
it's
have
the
a
board
bad
that-
board,
well, sure. Then of
it
course
screws it all up.
But if you have a good board, then public
Things were good for a long time here.
A
absolutely.
long time. But
But if you have a good owner, singular owner like entity that puts someone in charge,
But
it could be
then-
great.
but then there's
it
no
could
control
also
with
be
that.
terrible.
Yeah.
Because you can't get rid of
You can't get rid
an
of it.
owner
You can,
easily.
you can get rid of a board of governors.
You could change a board if you really wanted
Right.
to. You can go and figure out ways
Terms
to improve
end.
it. And the Elks board generally is full rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it.
Like, I don't like
You don't get
giving-
long on that board. It's like
I
maybe
just-
4 or 5 years. I might have to ask
Yeah.
JMO.
I don't like
fully.
giving up that control from a fan's point of view.
Well, and that's
It scares me. I'm hesitant to do it. And you're right. There are pros and cons to
but
both
the
models.
fans don't really have control under this model of the Elks.
no.
No, yeah.
Public ownership, right?
But there still is a looseness as
Yes.
opposed to a private.
So, but like the stadium is a big thing.
I know.
Renovation or building a new one, that's gonna have to be done, and that can't come from the city.
What do you want? As an
I
as
want
a
a
native,
renovated- I want a
two
renovated
Edmontonians flanking me here.
I want a renovated Commonwealth.
Yeah. I
I want both. I want a renovated Colin. I don't know, like
In this
if we're going,
economy?
yeah, if we're going back to like the
Jesus.
other conversation where things aren't,
Gotta be getting a CPL
if
team here.
things
You
aren't,
wanna,
things are aren't. We don't have to worry about money and all
Yeah,
that
okay,
type
yeah,
of thing.
yeah, yeah.
I would love a 20,000 seat retractable roof stadium
oh,
For
too
the
small.
for a soccer team,
Okay,
football.
yeah.
You could do some outdoor concerts.
But you keep your
You could do
international-
bigger. You could do things there.
Yeah.
And then I would have Commonwealth renovated, and that's where the Elks would play.
Oh, I see. what you
Okay.
Yeah, like in a perfect world,
Perfect
like a
world,
dream
yes.
world. I would actually love both
We're playing
because
yes.
I would love to see a soccer team here that's built where like you're on top of the action,
Right.
right? Like you see in
There's always
England.
there's always
Soccer?
It's pathetic that a city like Edmonton
It comes down.
doesn't have like it's
It's going to come down to this Commonwealth discussion.
yeah.
If Commonwealth doesn't get renovated and somebody, the new ownership like Rick Olosha says, looking for a new facility, that's going to bring a soccer team back because now you have a facility for it.
Yes.
If they stay at Commonwealth is not a soccer stadium.
Not at
No,
all.
no.
Can't do it there. It's especially
Especially for the numbers you're pulling in.
You're-
That'd be
you're pulling
cavernous.
Even if you get 5,000, which would be great for the Canadian Premier League, it's going to be awful
Yeah.
at Commonwealth. So
you can always expand.
then we won't see a soccer team come to Edmonton again. That's my prediction.
It was interesting too because the future of Commonwealth was also discussed the other night.
With your libation
Yeah.
Is this
Far
something you
hand
could
and-
say on the show?
nail gun. Give us
Because
a,
if not, then don't tell us these things yet. Wait till
Well,
the lights
I
go
want to
off.
frame it properly.
Because now you're just teasing us.
do charades.
The
We'll guess.
2 words. First word.
Money.
No. Okay. It was how the question came up. How do you solve the Commonwealth Stadium issue? Because it's aging. They have dressed it up. They put the new seats in about a decade ago. But I mean,
Rider colors
well,
on the upper deck.
Too true. Too
they,
true.
They said there was a reason for that, and we never really got it. Is it because like they expected the bottom seats to fade, or like
Or the top
in
seats were
this-
going to fade or something.
yeah?
I don't know.
And it's like
Lenroad's got, and it's not rider color, because I remember they said the Pantone or whatever
Kelly
it is. It's
green.
off. It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not that one. I was like,
Nah.
yeah, well,
Looks
Yeah,
pretty close to
the
me.
up looks like the
It
Riders.
doesn't look
and
like Edmonton football colors.
the
I'll
below,
say that.
especially when you have the lower bowl and you're like, that's the color.
yeah, dark
yeah,
green,
yeah.
gold.
So
And then they also talked, and then there was actually they tried to do an EE instead of like the scattered yellow,
pretty
and
cool.
yeah, it didn't turn out. Apparently, it didn't look good. So anyway, the Commonwealth Stadium conundrum was discussed, and it's how do you get the funds to build a new stadium? It's going to have to be probably a significant portion of public funding,
But you
that's
share it
the
all
thing.
with
that's
And I don't know how you
that's
sell that.
Not something
you're
that
not selling
anybody
that
wants.
in the city. You're not
In
going to
this
be able to
economy?
with the tax hike that just went up property wise.
But is it the city?
But then how can you do that with the
I know
CPL
the province doesn't care
and
about the city.
partner with the CPL, partner with you got to get as many people on board with this as you possibly can to take some of the burden off the public. Because what
This
riddle
is
me
why
this.
the FIFA still hurts.
No, but riddle me this and what is happening with Clark?
What do you
It's just a-
Well, what does it do? Who calls it home?
It's like
now?
a minor
Graham
football
Mack, you
place.
play soccer there.
I asked
it's
not
still
to
a
jest,
soccer.
and
It's
I'm not
still like
making
some
fun
people
of
go play
football.
soccer there.
Yeah.
I don't think football hasn't touched that place. I don't unless they went back.
Because
this year.
JP
football
Bowl,
games.
Unless it's
Huskies are at
recent.
JP Bowl.
Yeah, but I've
Well,
seen
but
like
like
high
they-
school football.
They got
games.
in like there was a big war between FC Edmonton and minor football.
FC Edmonton
And minor.
yeah.
That's why like people who are close to minor football are absolutely thrilled that FC Edmonton got ruined because they're like they deserved it for what they did to minor football.
But are they now using Clark? Like
I don't
FC
know.
Yes, I've driven by by, and there
Okay.
were football games.
FC Edmonton won the Clark battle.
Yes.
But now they're gone. So
Yes.
does anybody
Yeah.
then take up that? Like,
I don't think the junior teams like Huskies and Wildcats want
They have
to
their
anymore.
own. Yeah, no.
Talking to Jay, Wildcats, they love where they are in Sherwood Park.
And the Huskies.
Huskies, you
that
say it's a
JP
great
Bowl
little thing.
situation is great. Get out to a Huskies game at JP Bowl. Awesome stuff. And a great place to watch high school ball as well. But you mentioned the Commonwealth whatever dilemma, boondoggle, conundrum. But then you've got, again, like going to FC Edmonton games at Clark was not ideal, but it was a good place to again, in terms of numbers and such, and you made it work. But it's not a traditional soccer stadium. But it's just you have that sitting there. You have the Golden Bears playing their games, way out campus there or whatever. And then you have this big, great stadium that you can house international events in, but you don't really know what you're doing there. Like there's a lot of pots on the stove, none of which are boiling. All just kind of,
Just
tepid,
lingering?
lukewarm. Like, wait, what do you...
Bacteria.
We got to boil one.
manifest
Yeah, we're trying
growing.
to cook a meal, and they're all just kind of on there, and the burner's at 5. What
okay.
are you doing? Nobody like.
Yeah, you're right.
What do we do, and where do you go? And I'm just wondering if the CPL and you got to come together as a sporting community. Maybe that includes the Oilers, maybe it doesn't, but figure out a plan and to get whether it's building a small stadium like that and a renovation of Commonwealth or whatever it is, but there are a lot of like unboiled pots just sitting. I just
That's a good
feel
way
like
to
it's
put
kind
it.
of
The problem is the renovations of Commonwealth, because it could be done that way, but it's going to be way more costly.
sure.
But it's
But is that where you
better
start?
long term, I think. By the way, Olympic Stadium, Quebec approving over $800 million to replace
What
the
the
roof.
hell? By the way,
She won't die. That
That-
puppy's going to be going.
that thing was like literally falling
Yes.
apart.
Yes. The Vikings stadium fell apart. That was a little more bigger,
Like,
but I mean,
yeah.
this was a danger. There was pieces of concrete falling. from
And
it.
with the way constructions of these projects go, usually, we're talking $1 billion by the time it's done.
Well, in Montreal construction,
$1 billion done.
We'll
to-
find a
like,
few
for,
monster cans
for
in the
that.
jungle.
It's a
Just
piece of
build a brand new stadium.
yeah.
Tear it down and build for that money. I don't think I've seen
Oh my
someone
God.
yet right now be like, yes, long live Olympic Stadium.
Well, and is that going to get you a baseball team back sooner?
They're not getting a baseball team. Montreal
Actually-
is used as a red herring every
No,
time.
But
I
if you
think they
built
would.
an outdoor,
I think the big
amusement
issue
park
with
or whatever-
baseball was always it's the chicken and the egg. MLB was like, well, we're only going to come if you have a stadium. And Montreal's always like, well, we'll only get a stadium if you give us a team.
But
And they're
they
like,
have
well,
one they're going to refurbish, and they don't
But
want
if
it.
you
though,
build it, I think there's a chance that they would actually go.
Nashville, there's like a big push
That's
from a
great,
local
yeah.
ownership group to get a team there. Obviously, they're getting a team here. Just
But that's
across
a
the street.
relocation.
That's
Yeah.
a relocation. What was another one?
Portland's been talked about a
Yeah,
little bit.
Portland's
because
been
Tampa's
discussed.
getting a new
But,
park.
Yeah, but Tampa finally got
yeah,
Baseball,
they got that
the other
deal.
two places that Puerto Rico to a degree, but Mexico.
Yeah.
Going to Mexico City would be massive.
Puerto Rico would be a.
But like, at what point do the other leagues expand themselves? Right? Like hockey's looking at maybe 36. They've got all this money. There's going to be a point those leagues are ready to themselves go. We're going to take the expansion, and I think Montreal would be one of those that would be like, here's the cash.
May I
Give us a
rewind
team.
the tape a bit? Why the Big O rejuvenation?
Yeah.
Is
I
there
don't
any-
know.
Look, like I'm asking you out of
I
curiosity.
didn't bother
what's-
reading yet.
I don't know.
Why are you investing that amount of money? 'Cause you're not getting baseball in there. The Alouettes
But they
aren't
want to get a
playing
big game.
there. They want
They
to
want
get a.
a big game.
All for
Let's
the
put
Grey
all of our
Cup.
funds into Super Bowl. 68.
No, I think he's talking Grey Cup.
I'm talking Grey Cup.
Oh,
Yeah.
the big.
They're going to
the
spend $1
big
billion to get the Grey Cups again.
But, like-
once every 10 years.
Yeah. I was saying it, honestly, sarcastically. But I don't
But
understand.
what else is there?
Tear
I'm not
that
saying
piece
that
of
as
crap down.
That's not a slant to the CFL. But what are you doing?
I don't
Are
know.
you trying to get a Taylor Swift show or
Monster
what?
truck rallies?
Monster
I don't
trucks,
know.
maybe. Yeah, I don't. What else is there? An indoor game, an indoor hockey game. The Canadiens host somebody in the first NHL indoor hockey game.
Well,
But not a
Vancouver
rink.
kind of did that. They did. They had the roof open for I think like a little bit, and then they
Right.
closed it. It was cold.
So the stadium could only open between 120 and 180 days of the year due to the roof's fragility. And
Now-
events inside the building are canceled if more than 3 centimeters of snow are forecasted.
oh my god.
The new roof will allow the stadium to stay open year-round and almost triple gross revenue from $23 million to $61 million.
From what?
Says Tourism Minister Caroline Prue.
Well, but that's great.
But I love how it's $23 million to $61 million.
You can't just say that.
There's a long way to go to get to $1 billion.
well, let's see the
Whoa.
work. Let's see the work.
She
What
also
are the
adds
events?
that she expects the stadium will be able to host around 150 major events a year, up from around 30.
What are the events?
This sounds like such
trade fairs,
bull-
RV shows.
Yeah.
No offense to those events, but like,
Preliminary estimates show that demolishing the stadium would cost $2 billion and be complicated by the fact the structure is connected to 2 subway stations and business lease office space in the stadium's tower.
Not even like
I
is
think
the
they call that a
business-
white elephant.
Montreal's
Oh my
based
goodness.
professional football and soccer teams don't have plans to move into the stadium.
No.
And even if Major League Baseball were one day to return to Edmonton, this is all from a Montreal CTV article, the league has been clear Olympic Stadium won't be the team's
Yeah.
home.
So there you go. Let's yeah.
Who's left? Who's going to fill 250 dates a year in that stadium? It seems like a lot of money for very little benefit, said this one person.
We're getting
that
answers
quoted.
right here.
Yeah, we
Like,
are.
real
And now,
time.
how
I love
much
it.
did they have the breakdown of where this money's come? Is it federal? Is the federal
It
funding
says Quebec
kicking in?
government, so I'm assuming this is provincial.
Brilliant spending.
Provincial.
Well, I just don't. What is the? And I get it costs money to tear things. Like, I get there's
sure.
a there's
Montreal
a
mayor
trade-off.
piped up.
Oh.
Valerie Plante told
She's
reporters
entered the
she's
chat.
satisfied with the announcement. Quote, "You can love or hate the Olympic Stadium, but it's one of those symbols of Montreal.
So this is a pet
let's
project.
spend $1 billion
This is a pet project, yeah.
for a symbol of Montreal."
My daddy bought me an ice cream cone when I watched Felipe and Moises Alou, and I love the place,
Oh.
and I don't want to see it get torn down. And you're the mayor, you can do those things.
Yeah,
can
you
make
can
those things.
certainly.
Here we go.
Pet project.
While nothing is guaranteed, a functional roof removes a quote-unquote major unknown for promoters who currently face the risk that winter events will be canceled at the last minute. He said in an interview, though, he added further renovations will be necessary inside
Oh
the
my
stadium.
God.
So they're going to spend $1 billion on the roof, and everyone that was going to use it, that's going to go from 30 events to 150, are going to go, yeah, but you still have to renovate the inside.
Oh my god.
This is going to be a $2 billion
I
project.
can't wait for like residencies at the Big O. Come see Michael Bublé for the month of August. He'll be at the Big O every night.
On shrooms.
No snow. Yeah, on shrooms.
No snow.
Mushrooms, no snow. That's a boondoggle.
Wow.
That's a boondoggle.
I
okay?
can't
I
that-
believe we haven't
thought it
talked
was-
about that yet.
Somebody mentioned something about it. I saw in passing yesterday, and I was like, "No, that can't be. That can't be." It is. It is a thing.
I mean,
Smart
isn't even the turf and the like? Say you're to play a soccer or a football game or whatever, like that too
It'd have
is
to be part of the renovation.
total crap. Like
You
yeah.
have to redo it.
Didn't they have like a soccer game there for our national team a bunch of years ago, and they had to bring in turf from BC Place? and put it
There
down?
was an Impact TFC game probably about 5 years ago.
Maybe
I
that
would
was
recall,
it.
where the lines were messed up and they had to repaint the lines or something because
Yes.
they were a little too. The box was too narrow. Or
They
like
didn't have their dimensions
yeah,
properly.
they screwed up the dimensions. That was one thing.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Their
There's
fan
always
base
something.
too. Like that's
For
a
what?
good example of here. Well, Montreal, their soccer stadium,
Yeah.
and the football stadium in which the Alouettes now call home, McGill University.
But they want a new stadium for football.
And I understand that too. But you look at two teams in two sports that fit those. Like that's playing. Well, when they were the Impact, CF Montreal now, whatever it is.
Yeah, and Montreal Impact now it's CF Montreal.
they played out at
and
the Big O
the fans
early.
hated that.
What, playing in the Big O? Or,
No, the
or
CF
name
Montreal
change? Oh
name
yeah,
change.
yeah. But playing in the Big O, that's too big for what you're trying to do there. Where they are at now is just it's right
Yeah.
perfect. You're filled. It's good. There's an option for adding or improving the capacity, and the Alouettes as well. Look at the change when they moved out of the Big O to McGill, and yeah, they should want, and that's fine. But you would be building a specific CFL type of style model, and
The good part of having Olympic Stadium renovated for them would be East Final happens. You're hosting. You can maybe go. We'll go to a bigger
but
facility.
even that as the Alouettes, because they would do that. You're used to a field and a place that you call
Sure.
home all season. Then you got
Why
to
mess with
it's
that?
a neutral
Yeah.
site game
Yeah.
in a sense. Your fans are there,
Yep.
but you're then playing. You don't know, and it's why mess with that? But I don't know. It seems a lot of money for a potential East final every once every couple years.
Not
150
events, Eric.
150 East
150
finals.
events
What are they-
from 30.
I-
21
150
million
events.
to 61 million
What
per
could
year?
they be doing?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Lots of trade
So-
shows. It's trade shows.
It is.
It's
Yes.
a lot of
Yeah.
boat shows.
Boat shows.
boats.
You could, yeah.
Bringing all the boats.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
at 61 million, it would only take like 13 years to pay that off. At 800 million.
Of course.
At 8.
Now,
800 million.
what if they just turn it into a glorified golf dome eventually?
Now you're talking.
Now we're talking.
Now you're thinking outside the box.
The first indoor top golf in Canada.
You could just put bays across the whole thing.
800
And
million,
things all
well
over.
worth it. Well worth it.
There are
Medieval dinner theater, anybody?
Oh, I
Right?
would love that.
That would be a good
Hey?
spot for that one.
World's largest.
You want to know
World's
something?
largest.
The Golden Knights hockey game made me want to go to medieval times.
Doesn't it?
Once they start, it's a great intro. They have.
It is.
I was telling Dusty yesterday, like, if I was a player coming out to that, I would be pumped up every game to play.
Well, and that John Wick music, that techno beat that they use, that boom, 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 like
The bass, man.
Wonderful.
you've been around to rinks.
Yeah.
One of the best rink intros in terms of music and
The
the
best.
video component.
The best.
Yeah.
Like Montreal's is like so hockey.
It's
And
emotional.
you're in the church of hockey when you're in Montreal.
It's a cathedral.
Yeah. And then Chicago does it pretty good. However, this one you literally feel from the bass and yeah, that the lights and the lasers and the smoke and you're like, oh damn.
we didn't
You're
hear
feeling
Troopers raise a little hell last night on the PA.
No.
It was like a rave.
Yeah.
Every stoppage of play was like hard techno,
Yep.
vibrating through your organs.
Totally.
And just shots of people having fun. Like it was a constant projection of fun, loud techno music.
Yep.
I also liked the fan base. Like, it was.
They're great.
They were great.
They're
They're
adorable.
passionate. They're adorable is probably the best way.
Adorable.
They still don't fully know the game.
They're getting there,
They're
though.
getting,
But
there's a
it's
couple
neat to
moments in
kinda-
the game where like they're saying, "Well, why isn't that a call?"
What are you
And
doing?
We're like immediately like, "Well, that's never a call." Like,
Yeah.
that's not like
That was
what?
a battle.
But like, I love that they're that.
They
That's
get
where
up.
they're
They get
enthusiastic
up.
enough to be like, they just think that that's a penalty and they'll
Yeah.
just stand up and that's a penalty and they get all upset. And I love that. I love how much
They're
they
ravenous.
really do care about this team.
Yep.
And they'll slowly learn it more and more and more and be a lot more knowledgeable. But it was like really like I was like, this is adorable.
And a good
It's
rivalry for the
adorable.
Oilers fan base to cultivate with because they are very open. You can talk with them. There's
We
no
had a chat
like,
with that the veteran yesterday at the
Yeah.
one place.
there's no institutionalized anger between
No.
them. This is people come down here. Yeah, good to see you. Blah blah blah. Thanks for spending money
Friendly
here in our
rivalry.
economy and enjoy your like,
A lovely state.
Friendly rivalry.
yeah, it's good
From that aspect. Of
Not on the ice.
No,
but
and
in the
it should
stands.
be on the
Sure.
ice.
Yeah.
The first game here was going into the bye week in 2018, I believe it was January. And I remember I was going to go to our parents' home in Phoenix, and I was driving, listening to local radio the day after the game. We had stayed here, and they did a sports update. It wasn't an LTE sports update.
You're up to date.
It wasn't a sports rewind by any means, but it was good, and it was adorable because they're like, the Vegas Golden Knights lost last night to the visiting Edmonton Oilers by a score of 2-1. And I was like, pardon?
At least they didn't say like 1-2.
No. Yeah.
When you say the lower score or whatever, but 2
that,
points.
and
to one.
that happens on FA Cup. They'll do like highlights, and they'll always go.
Oh,
and
in
that
soccer
made
you
it
do.
1-2.
Well, because it's the home team
Yeah.
and then the visiting
They
team.
always-
but in
and
North
it's
American,
really weird.
you say the winner first.
Yeah.
But when they say the score too, like, and they do it the
Oh,
opposite
yeah,
way,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
whoa, 1-2. Oh, okay.
But it was the 2 points
Two-
to
two
1.
I like
and
this.
I was like,
I like that.
They goaled them twice, and Vegas only goaled once.
that's
Or
right.
whatever.
And
Beautiful rink.
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
It
your
reminds
first time.
me of Rogers, like inside. Like,
lot of
I'm
elements
not
of-
going to sit here and say T-Mobile is better than Rogers. I can. Like, they're very
It
similar.
was a little chilly, I found at some
Very
points
cold.
last
Did you?
night.
It was super
yeah.
cold.
Oh,
up
I
in
didn't find it
Crossbar.
I
cold.
noticed that.
I
I
didn't
made
find it
I made a
cold.
mental
Yeah.
note, but not complaining.
Edmonton's got the low seats. They don't have many of those. They had the
No.
one ends.
But do they have a
kinda
Bud
has it.
Light lounge?
Edmonton has those type of things.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah.
The chicken. I got the chicken tenders there.
Did you?
Yeah,
How
I
much
went
were
in
they? $40?
I don't want to confirm or deny. I just went in there. I was looking for a little. I was like, I need a little scarf, And you see the chicken, and you're like, that's the play. Like
Yeah.
that's a 5-tool player. I know I'm good when
You're good.
I just need to get it in me and get out. But I was scarf, and then these Golden Knights, older gentlemen, and I was like, we're talking, and then one guy's like, oh, where are you from? Like, it was like a gang was kind of forming around me, and then
Oh,
I had to
really?
kind of get out of there. They were getting, I'd say, friendly rivalry off the ice. These guys, not
You'll
so much.
find
Did they
that.
throw
Oh
a
no,
shoulder?
there's
All right.
well, they were kind of they wanted. I think they were trying to goad me into something.
Oh.
And then and they were all kind of snapping their. It was kind of like a '50s gang.
Interesting.
They're kind of
They comb in their back
But they're going to
pocket.
get into some sort of like spoken sing song or something. I got the hell out of there. Good chicken tenders though.
Dusty told me how much it cost for what he buy. He bought you a beer and he got
don't wanna-
himself
yeah.
like a double Ryan Coke.
I just don't need to know. Give me the paper. I'll sign my autograph there on the thing.
Yeah.
and
So
away
you
we
don't
go.
need to know that, but you're worried about germs in a room.
Yes, my health, finances, money comes and goes, Maddie, like the tides in the sea. But health, you only have one life. Eh?
Bacteria, man.
Just because, I don't know.
Because I brought it up.
No, just because we've you and me have had some times in a Vegas hotel room that have been a little more animated, I'm sure, than this week.
Oh yeah.
What, you didn't do more hangouts like this?
I'll just leave it at that, man.
I'll leave it sit there. We Edmonton Sports Talk. We're here in Vegas thanks to the Edmonton International Airport. They've got nonstop flights
Fly
all
YEG.
over
Nonstop.
to various sports cities. You could come down to Vegas nonstop like we did. We'll fly
Nashville
back
being
home.
one of them.
Nashville's
Where I
one
think
of them.
we may have to kind of-
Atlanta for me. I'm going to Atlanta
You are, yeah,
in
right.
June for hopefully Canada Copa America against Messi in Argentina. It was a direct flight right from the Edmonton International Airport or nonstop. So it was just you could go to Europe nonstop from the Edmonton Airport. There's like if you are a sports fan, you could look at all the nonstop destinations. You could plan a lot of great sports trips. One of those being Las Vegas.
Try to hit them all.
I heard you guys say like
Try to hit them all.
create that little. They should create that little program like a sports passport.
The EST YEG tour, and you get a shirt. And
You get we'll stamp it.
Where
and
have I
if you,
been? Blah blah blah.
If you hit all of them, you get
you get a
big
sticker.
prize.
We'll give you a sticker and a
We'll
lanyard.
create a special sticker just for that one.
Yeah.
We'll make it gold.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So your gold standard. But yeah, we're here thanks to the airport, and I'm more excited though about when we come back.
You are
giving away a trip.
You love
I
giving.
love.
You love receiving.
When
but
we
you
were having
love
the
giving.
first conversation with them, in my mind, I just kept thinking of, can we give away a trip? Can we give away a trip? Can we give away a trip? And then they're like, and maybe we can give away a trip.
Hell
yes. Yes.
You can do
so
what we're
stay
doing.
tuned to Edmonton Sports Talk over the next few
no
weeks. We'll have more details next week, hopefully. But sometime in this month, we'll start the qualifying, and
Awesome.
we'll get it planned out. So we'll send one of you, the Nasties, to Las Vegas, thanks to Edmonton International Airport. Fly YEG. Coming up next, it will be the lock shop. Dusty's gonna have to come in here. He doesn't have a table. I've just
Has he
noticed. We don't have
texted you or
don't
not
have
or
a
anything?
table.
Is he?
No, he hasn't texted me. But Dusty and Huss,
You should
Waste
just
Management.
lay in your bed. Do the
WM.
lock shop.
Well, I have to do me.
No, he can.
He'll just lie down. We'll just turn the camera over.
Yeah, in a provocative angle.
I haven't
Paint
touched
me like one
I
of
haven't
your-
touched that side of the bed, so
There
we can
you
lie
go.
there, no
Yeah,
problem.
Yeah.
I've built my little fort so I don't turn over.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I can't roll over the one,
That's
so I
gotta
gotta
be
build
a
my
real
fort.
push for you.
Yeah,
I think I've gotten used to that.
You do, I know.
But Lock Shop, WM Phoenix Open beginning tomorrow. I'm assuming they're going to talk about that one. And then, Tommy, you're back in here in one of these chairs with Dusty for the oil stream, as you guys will recap the loss that they had to the Golden Knights and look ahead to little break that they'll have, but Friday night against the Anaheim Ducks.
Quack, quack, quack. Mr.
How was the
Ducksworth.
EST Hangout from my hotel room? Floor 5, room 114, Park MGM.
I had a
been
great
great. This
time.
was a good
and
one.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm glad I could host you
Thank you for
guys.
having me over
I'm glad
here.
we
It's a
kept-
great room.
I realized somebody texted earlier. Hopefully, no one's in the room next to us. That starts at 8 o'clock.
Well,
They
it's
have-
really
yeah.
smart. We actually don't do the morning show in our rooms.
Oh no, that was the play.
Because then it would have had to be in Dusty's room.
That
Just
was
have the
the
buffer
play.
zone. Because it goes me, Dusty, then Eric. So it all works out. But again, Lock Shop coming up next here, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola, and Lieutenant Eric with you here today. We will be Eric and I will be back tomorrow on the Hangout. Tommy's headed back to Edmonton.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning into the EST Hangout presented by Whiteclaw. Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes right here on Edmonton Sports Talk.